What's up? It's Mike tapping in from Frisco, Texas at the Haymaker Studio right down the street from Rowotown Beer Works. It's President's Day. Happy President's Day to you and yours. I don't know what that means. Mike, tell me your favorite presidents.
Boutros Ghali.
I don't think that's a president, Mike.
Angela Merkel.
Isn't she a prime minister?
Tony Blair.
Okay, not good on the history or world geography, but we'll work on that. Hey, we got a fantastic show for you today. We're doing Cowboys Contract Corner with Donovan Wilson. We got Kevin Turner in the house. Go Mean Green. My oldest friend in this business. We've literally been doing shows together for 20 years. We're going to break down everything Cowboys. We're also going to fix the NBA All-Star Game for you. You might have heard something about that. People don't like it. I don't know why. All right, stick around. StrongSide, episode 15. Next. Welcome back. StrongSide, episode 15. I am Mike Marshall, the executive producer of D Magazine. That is Mike Palucci, the sports editor of D Magazine. I give you permission to pause the episode, go get you a subscription to D Magazine, go sign up for the StrongSide newsletter,
read
get
stuff
all the
online.
good stuff, high quality, real nice stuff for you for free. And the newsletter,
$0.
zero each week. He spends so much time on it. So much time. Please
For you,
just read.
the people.
We got great sports stuff every day of the week for you on the website as well. All right, enough selling. Let's jump into hot topics. We got Kevin Turner coming up in a little bit. Gonna get a lot of Cowboys going.
Yep. Let's talk about football in general because we're doing this a little early this week. So by the time we're back next week, the combine will be in full force.
Yep.
It's a whole week now. We're just doing a week of this, and look, the NFL is a very textbook. The NFL wants you to care about this. This is your first bit of dopamine in the offseason, since we want actual football for 6 months. I know they want me to care. My question is, how much should I care, Machine?
I mean, as a Cowboy fan, what you're going to be looking for out of the combine, which, by the way, they're doing a great job of making you think this is important and that it matters. Good. And the marketing for the combine is incredible. As a Cowboys fan or just living in the Cowboys world, you want to see medicals on Jermod McCoy, Akeem Mesidor, dudes like that you could potentially take. And if people start rising out of the combine, then you know that teams are comfortable with the medicals. If you start hearing guys dropping down, no. Like something's wrong there. Something's a chronic injury, right? So that's the number one thing. That's why the teams do it. That's why all the teams go there, because they have more MRI machines and that square mile than anywhere else on planet Earth, basically. You can check out if this guy's broken, what's going on with him. Was he playing injured whenever he said he's playing injured? That's the most important thing for teams, right? And in turn, what you can read about stock rising or dropping for these guys that do have issues, you can read a little bit into it, right? You can read the tea leaves and go, okay, well, his foot really is going to be a problem, and he's probably going to break it again in a couple of years. The testing results, to me, it's only helpful or hurtful to specific positions. Right? Wide receiver, I don't care. Dudes have fallen consistently because they'll run a 4.65 and people are like, oh, they're slow. Or they have a weird, shuttle drill or gauntlet drill as a wide receiver. Doesn't matter. The positions you really care about, the athleticism, and it's not just raw athleticism. It's not just, 4.4. It's, okay, is a 4.55 better if you're weighing 230 pounds? Than a 4.44 if you're 195. Yes.
Yeah.
It's weight and speed adjusted to it, right? So a lot of people will call it RAS score. What the RAS score is for certain positions does matter. Now, let me tell you the positions I don't care about. I can give you my draft rankings today on these positions and will not care about what happens next week, right?
Okay.
Wide receiver, quarterback, offensive line, to some extent, running back. As long as you meet thresholds, I don't really care if you're running slow or fast. Kyron was the last one I really cared about, I think. Kyron Williams was notoriously slow.
That dude, bombed basically everything he could have bombed. It still became a good NFL player.
Exactly.
So,
And that happens a lot. The other part of this is that you need to read into it in the combine is if a guy is projected to be, I can't remember who it was last year. Someone was projected to run really, really fast. Maybe it was the Texas wide receiver that ended up getting in trouble anyway. Not
Isaiah
Golden.
Bond.
Yeah, Isaiah Bond.
Yeah.
If speed is your thing, if force is your thing, if size is your thing, that is getting you first-round buzz, and then you aren't that thing, Isaiah Bond, you're not a burner. You're actually not that big as a left tackle. Your arms aren't that long. That's a problem. That's problematic. But if you're going to measure in the normal, with left to right on margin of error, in terms of a 40, in terms of a short shuttle, and each position has different. I can get really nerdy on like which positions you need a 6'7" short shuttle in.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
We don't have to do that. But offensive side of the ball, that's how I feel about it. I don't care. Dude, as long as you're a running back that runs under a 4.7.
The one spot
really
that
care.
it really matters a lot is tight end. It's been proven over and over.
Tight end is
athleticism does correlate
the athleticism
very strongly.
position.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, forgot to mention that. There are guys that don't have the college production and weren't necessarily slotted as top 50 picks that can go to the draft combine, give you an insane RAS score as a tight end. That translates immediately at tight end, right?
Yeah.
Defense is all about thresholds for each position, and they're all different. And it's all dependent on how much you weigh and what kind of defense. If it's a corner versus a nickel corner is different, right? You're going to want different measurements there. Short shuttle, 3-cone. That is a lot of the defensive challenge, right? And if you are fast enough, you're going to run under a 4.6 unless you're a defensive edge. And then, you know what? I don't even care. I don't care if an edge is a 4.7 guy. It doesn't matter. When are you lining up? I learned this from the great Everson Walls, who's one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time.
Yep.
When am I lining up and just sprinting in a straight line 40 yards on a football field? It doesn't happen. Unless you're just broken the top off the defense and you're going. It just doesn't happen. It's not a thing that happens in football. So it's a weird measure to be probably the most idealized stat that you're going to come out of this week.
Yeah, look, I asked you this question for two reasons. It's one, everything you just gave us, which is a nice primer of here's what really matters. Mm-hmm. But two, because and this is where I always get wrapped up with the combine. The combine is football's SATs.
Yeah.
And you can coach yourself very well to take the SAT. You can ask the question, as many people should, why does the SAT really matter when my higher education doesn't really involve most of this stuff? Mm-hmm. And that's where the combine always trips me up because it is objectively important. Yep. But I think just as I get older, the more things in life that if you could put it in an email and then my time commitment is bigger than an email, I don't really want to get into this sort of deal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of a wait. I follow the people tweeting out the RAS scores. It's like, cool. I'm not watching your programming. I'll just scroll through the feed for 5 minutes later today, see my RAS scores. We'll go from there because it's very NFL. Everything you ever want to believe about the NFL, but taking itself too seriously, the combine is the epitome of that thing.
It's a job interview.
It is, but I'm just saying more how it's packaged and consumed by the public.
Oh yeah.
And then people in our line of work making a big deal out of I'm going to the combine. I'm going to do stuff at the combine. It's like,
oh, that doesn't. Yeah,
it's like, okay, man, sure, that's great. I love that, but this is
hobnobbing and navel gazing, the
entirety of my knowledge of St. Elmo's restaurant in Indianapolis is because of the freaking combine, and it's just that's all well and good. And who am I to judge because I haven't been there? And there is importance to it, and I do believe that there's something cool about and the Senior Bowl is like this too, a place where people actually talk and share information. And it's not pure guardrails the way it is so much, but it's just the epitome of a thing where the NFL is insisting upon itself. Yep. And people take the bait fully with it. It is treated as a thing because the NFL wants you to treat it as a thing, as opposed to this is a part of the pre-draft process that is important and can be interesting, but we could put this in an email for you. Yeah,
and as someone that, is a completely way third-level amateur evaluator, none of my rankings are going to change coming out of the combine, just to be honest. If someone fails a medical thing, or if someone bombs out in the job interview process, or if you just are, like I said, if you're supposed to be this thing and you show up not that thing because you haven't worked out at all, okay.
I learned something about you.
Yeah. If you can't take a job interview seriously, I learned something. Yeah. You're not disciplined. You can't be disciplined for this month in between the end of your season and when the job interview starts, right? If you show up sloppy, if you show up slow, if you didn't really do a short shuttle test, if you didn't train for it leading into it and you run a absolute ass short shuttle like as a corner, okay, that's problematic, guys. But the rest of it, it's important because teams say it's important, right? And it's the job interview part and that's so few of the cases.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about the most extreme of the extreme of guys that go into a bunch of different interviews and say, I don't really respect this process and I don't really want to do it and I'm not about this. Well, you're telling me you're not about football because you're going to get thrown into a lot of situations in which you're doing stuff you don't want to do and you're about to do it for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's called training camp, actually.
Yeah, have fun.
It's called, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any faith that you're going to get better at training camp if you can't do that for the combine. It's the biggest job interview in sports.
Right, yeah. There are data points. It is interesting. It is just turned into a cottage industry. And then people, and this isn't even the NFL's fault, the people who cover it take the wrong cues from it a lot of the time.
Yes.
And they don't take the right context from it. And then everything becomes a thing as opposed to how do I sift through the noise and find the actionable stuff, which is where you learn who's good at this and who isn't good at this.
Yeah.
Dane Brugler, great at this. He knows what's going on, right? But for every one of him, there's 10 more people who get invited to this sort of deal and try to make a big deal out of the wrong stuff. And then we just have to listen to so much more noise for the next 2 months because this one event that didn't have to be a capital E event has been turned into that. And it just gets exhausting. It's my least favorite because by the end of the process, I always say there are teams that scout themselves stupid. You start talking yourselves into things the last month because you've had too much time to think about this and only this.
Yep.
And then stuff gets nitpicked and stuff gets blown out of proportion. And then invariably, there will be a few guys who go down the board. The Ravens are great at this. Every year, the Ravens pick in the 20s. Yep. Not this year, but most years, they're picking in the 20s. Some guys there.
They'll try to.
And it's like, oh, that guy's real good. Should have gone 15 picks earlier. Yep. Why?
Pretty easy.
Because his shuttle was 1/10 of a second below what it should have been. Okay, well, is he a good football player and he played big-time football in college? It was really good. Oh, that shouldn't matter? Oh, okay, well, let's let the smart team just do what they do with that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And if you leave the combine and your opinion is, okay, this guy ran a 4.4 and this other guy ran a 4.8, and thus the 4.4 is better, like you're definitely doing it wrong.
Yeah, and there are cases where it matters, right? For instance, I remember last year I loved Xavier Restrepo, the receiver out of Miami in college. Great slot receiver.
Yeah.
Terrible 40 time.
Yeah.
Just bombed his combine. And I kind of thought, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's a guy where it doesn't matter. Well, it did matter because I haven't seen him do a single thing.
Yeah.
You know? So there are cases where, and this is where the people who get paid to do this for a living, who aren't us, understand stuff that we don't because they have proprietary data that we'll never get. But yeah, there are a lot of people on the outside who don't have that data, who take the combine as gospel, and that's where the problems start.
I don't know what you can get from doing the drills that you couldn't honestly get from the tracking data nowadays.
That's a good point.
That teams can do in practice and in Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl.
Well, and also
the zebra technology,
and it's probably more honest because every day in a college practice, you're not worried about gaming your short shuttle time. You're gaming your 40. You're worried about how do I get the game plan in for this week to beat Florida State. Whereas this, you have, again, the SAT analogy, you have private tutors. Duke Manyweather, friend of mine, after profiled him last year, he'll probably come on the show at some point. Duke knows how to train his guys for this sort of stuff. It's part of why, there's only a small part of why he gets paid a lot of money, but it's part of why he gets paid a lot of money.
There are hacks for it, though, like anything else. You know what I mean? There's a Combine for Dummies book out there. It's not actually a book, but
Mike Mamula, Google that man's name. That dude changed everything about the Combine because he was the first guy to realize, coming out of Boston College, wait, what if I just ace all these tests? And he got picked top 20 when he was like probably a mid-round talent coming out of Boston College.
And there have been a couple of years where they frankly screwed it up. They either had new turf or they were running guys at weird times of night.
And then your data's all crap.
They got off schedule. And then, I don't know, I feel like we got really bad at scouting like coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
Because number one, there's fewer games. And then the combines after that, they definitely screwed them up. Like everybody ran like 0.02 faster than they were supposed to, I think, that year. So they've screwed it up, but like listening to Dane and people that I trust that I've learned over years, almost a decade, that they're going to read it right.
Yeah.
And if they say something like, okay, this running back, the entirety of the running back group that ran tonight, sluggish, didn't like them, didn't have the burst, not much pop, not impressed by the group. Okay. I put that in the notes and I go, okay, that's really interesting. And that last note on the zebra tracking thing, whenever I worked for the Cowboys, Dez was Dez contract year, right? There are a lot of stuff going on that year, but that was Dez contract year. And it was one of the stories about Dez And I don't remember if he did combine or not. He obviously
he did, because that's where the whole crazy anecdote about the Dolphins asking him about his mom.
That's
what she
right,
did for a living
Jeff Ireland, yeah. But he missed his senior year, Oklahoma State, right? And so I don't think they had like great zebra tracking, which is the technology it's called. I remember a story about Dez practicing with the Cowboys, and they'd get the zebra tracking after his first, training camp or mini camp or whatever. I think it might even been mini camp when it's just you and like rookies and shit out there.
Yeah.
And Dez is out there running like 4 more miles a day than every other player. Wow. And his mile per hour is like 3 higher than everyone. And them going, dude, you got to cool out at practice. Like, we're going to force you to go sit down sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he is just burning himself up.
Yeah.
And that's the type of shit that coaches like. You see that out of a player out of the Shrine Bowl or Senior Bowl or whatever. If you can get practice data from these teams, that stuff's almost more valuable to me than what we're doing right now. I love the spectacle of it. I love that everyone focuses on football for about a month here, especially the scouting side of it, because it's so interesting to me. It's one of my favorite things. Since I was little, drafts are so fascinating.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I really love it. It's not going to change my mind. The stuff that'll change my mind are the extreme outliers.
Right.
Dude couldn't interview. Dude showed up fat. Dude doesn't take this serious.
Yeah.
There's something, he's sliding on everybody's board. Why? No one's really saying, oh, it's a medical thing. So,
yep.
I don't know, another medical situation I don't really want to think about right now is that elbow surgery for one Sebastian Walcott from the Texas Rangers. Was at one point, I think he was like a top 2 or 3 prospect. He's a little bit down the board now. But
more like consensus top 20.
Yeah, they're top prospect.
Yeah.
Elbow surgery is in the cards. I think it's a UCL.
Torn UCL.
Torn UCL. He thinks he can play at some point soon, but he's also like 12 years old, so I'm not going to ask him.
I think that's where that organization steps in and says, son, I think we need to have a talk about that whole play next year thing.
And we were already worried about the depth of the farm system because they haven't contributed a whole lot of anything in recent memory and don't look super promising.
Well, then
you take the top one off.
Right, after you traded 5 guys for Mackenzie Gore.
So.
Yeah, this sucks. I don't think, and I haven't heard anybody who does this for a living think that Sebastian Walcott was debuting this year, right? Mm-hmm. He is about to turn 20.
Right.
He's doing very well for AA, but he's still young.
Mm-hmm.
There's not an obvious place to play him unless Josh Young just totally bombs, which I think Josh Young is just going to be an average to slightly above average big leaguer, not a dude whose floor falls out below him.
Mm-hmm.
The hard part about this is he is a guy whose game is a lot of variance, right? It's a lot of highs and lows. I think we've realized that the lows are not really that bad. This isn't a dude who's striking out 30% of the time in the minors. You worry about can the bat translate. This isn't a dude who, what's his position defensively, like an O'Neal Cruz, even though he has loud tools. But he's a guy who needs refinement, which means he needs at-bats. And now you're losing a year of those at-bats. And so what happens when he comes in next year? That means he needs another year of those at-bats to make up, which means that he might not debut next year. And that's when you start wondering, well, when is my only hope in the organization of a long-term accompaniment to Wyatt Langford getting here?
Yeah.
Because the farm system, he wasn't going to bail out the shallow farm system this year, right? But there ain't a lot there. Zach Kreiser, we had him on the show a few weeks ago. Zach did a piece for us last week on, hey, what's left in this thing that they can call upon now? Because they are ostensibly in a win-now period. Some stuff for the bullpen and nothing else. Mm-hmm. There's maybe a guy who can help out in the rotation. I mean, sure, the caveat is if Kumar Rocker doesn't win the job out of the gate and he goes to AAA because Jacob Latz is in the rotation, then yeah, Kumar Rocker is a guy on the farm technically. But guys you haven't seen before, Caden Scarborough's not coming anytime soon, right? So it's some dudes who can help the bullpen. That's nice. Need some of those to where you're not just going bullpen roulette every year. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So now the one guy up your lineup isn't probably coming for 2 years. And do you have 2 years of peak Seager DeGrom together?
Right.
Especially if you're going into labor stoppage. What's there? And this is a situation where, the way to offset this is to do what the Padres are doing, where even if you don't shop at the market, you're signing everybody in February. Just you don't have a job, cool, come to camp, man. Get in here. Let's give ourselves some options so we don't have to worry about the farm system that we traded out of to get the high impact guys. Rangers aren't doing that. We talked about this on this show. We've kvetched about this on the show, that they just think that the lineup's fine when it's not at all fine. So the Walcott thing is kind of more your canary in the coal mine to me. Is he really going to fix everything? No, but now when he's not there and you have to look and stare down at what's really on hand, it's rough, brother. It's not good. And it means that, you could trade further futures, right? They intentionally traded guys for Mackenzie Gore who would not help them this year. That's all well and good. But now you either have to trade even further down that to get any impact talent at the deadline, or you hope there's some huge pop-up outlier this year who can help you in the big leagues. But I don't know. It's the foundation's not great.
I think you're approaching a realistic probability opportunity where Gavin Feen might reach the majors before Walcott does.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like if we're talking 2 years.
Yeah, I still don't think it, but it's not out of the realm of possibility now.
Yeah, and that just seemed crazy, right?
Yeah.
Whenever the trade happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the labor strikeage thing definitely scares me overall and might put the whole sport on halt for a minute.
Yep.
I don't know what you can do with a torn UCL. I have no idea. I don't know if you can simulate batting practice. I don't know if he's getting reps or if he's literally just hanging out playing Nintendo 64. I have no idea. That's not my business. But this is like, I've said before on this show, there are no pitching prospects. There's no such thing as a pitching prospect.
Right.
Because about half of them get to here or even on the doorstep.
You blow out.
Arm's gone.
Yeah.
And you don't know what comes back.
Right.
You really don't.
So the good news is that, you don't have to worry about that with this.
Yeah.
Right. I think Manny Machado had TJ. Somebody else did. Position guys, you're going to be fine. It's really just the lost development time. It's not a long-term health thing. So there is that. You got that going for you.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. And it's not like, it's not a knee thing. Like, it's not like a thing that's going to be, I'm worried about once he comes back or something like that. You know what I mean? But to take the number one prospect off of a farm system that was already way, way down the list and just depleted even more with this trade, man, you're kind of landlocked. You got to make this work. You absolutely have to make this work. If Josh Smith doesn't work out at second, we're not going to the minors to have a go at it. Like, it's just not an option.
You traded Devin Fitzgerald in this deal.
Exactly.
That's the next proto Josh Smith, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Josh Young can't hack it. Well, your third base safety net's not playing baseball for a year plus.
Yeah.
So, and this was not a team that it's not like it's not like the big league club didn't have holes, and it's not like this big league club is especially young. So you have performance risk, you have regression risk, you have injury risk.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
It's not if things break right, this team can be good, but you need everything to break right. In the last 2 years, this team has not had things break right. You used all your break right stuff in 23. Great. It worked out.
Cashed it
There's
all
ever
in.
a time. That's
Cashed
the
it all
time.
in.
But it's not making you feel good going into spring training right now.
It sucks, and it sucks because, like, that first week of spring training of guys reporting, I swear to God, there was a report every other day. Corbin Carroll, broken wrist. Jackson Holiday, broken wrist.
Hammett bones everywhere. Yeah, I know.
And then he was, like, the last one, right? Walcott was like, oh, my God, no, not this guy, too. So that's been the story of, like, early reporting baseball is everybody hurt. Sorry about all the guys you love
Fun
watching
sport
play.
we have.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right, let's do a little Cowboys contract corner. We
Let's do it.
might only have a couple more after this week, but Donovan Wilson bears some discussion.
Sure.
Longest tenured guy on the defense.
Didn't realize that.
Flew under the radar for me, but he
Yeah.
is just coming off a 3-year extension. Just finished that up. Last year, not a very good year, but I don't know if anything is that inspiring in the Cowboys safety group. That's an evergreen statement right there. So, would you bring Donovan Wilson back? Where are you at with him?
The number obviously matters a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a 7-year veteran that just is used to a certain lifestyle at this moment from that 3-year extension, I assume. So, I don't know. Spot Rack, Sport Track, whatever you want to call that thing, says he's about a $6.5 million a year player, maybe $7 million. I say not here. No, he's not. Yeah. Sorry. Not from my wallet. He's absolutely not. So here's what's happened to Donovan Wilson over the last 2 years. They've been his worst years, number one, but he has become just an absolute liability in coverage.
Can I give you some numbers? Or
I can give you some if you want. So if
you want to trade, you want to do
tell me a bad number. I'll tell you a bad number.
Can I interest you in a 134.7 passer rating against, or an 82% passes completed against?
Yeah, that's tough.
Those were last year.
That's tough. Can I give you a fun one too?
Yeah, hit me.
8 touchdowns allowed last year.
8. I think the two numbers they gave you informed the number you gave me.
Yes, they really did. They powered that one.
I think the missed tackle number was bad too.
Yes,
and that's what he does, right?
This is what it looks like when a thumper safety that is limited in coverage starts aging out.
Well, and like, to be fair to him, maybe he's not aging out so much as he was in a system last year that wasn't making anybody look good at all, right? Mm-hmm. His game is he's feast or famine. You need to let him do some stuff.
Yeah.
My counter to that devil's advocate analysis is a good defense really built around let Donovan Wilson cook?
No,
and
not.
This defense, we're going to talk about this with Kevin Turner when he comes on. We think we know what Christian Scott does. We have a pretty good idea. You and I have talked about this. We don't totally know, but to whatever degree we know anything, the guy likes coverage safeties. That's not Donovan Wilson. This is not what he does.
No.
So you can sell me on, in a different system that wants a downhill thumper, play with your hair loose, all that stuff, that he can still be an asset. I don't know one way or the other because I don't know if he was put in position to succeed last year. I don't think with where they want to play defense, he would be put in position to succeed next year.
Yeah.
And that's just differing priorities. That's not a value judgment on him.
Right.
And so, I just don't think you could bring him back.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. It was a textbook. They got way more than they bargained for. Like, this was their dumb strategy they implemented for years and years of cheap safeties. Mm-hmm. This was the blind squirrel finding the acorn with Donovan Wilson. It hit.
Yeah.
One time it hit. And thank God it did.
Yeah.
But I just think this next era, you got to move on.
Yeah. And he doesn't answer a single question for me whenever I start looking at that defense, right? If he was bigger, I'd say, okay, let's fake him as a linebacker a little bit in some nickel situations, right? He's just not. He's a smaller dude. Right. He's 6 foot 204, and that might be exaggerated a little bit. But he's been the same thing since he came out of Texas A&M.
Yeah,
saw a lot of him in college.
You blitz your safeties, you can have a good time with him.
If he's on the field, you're going to be telling blitz, or heavy box with a bunch of dudes down in there. And in this defense, I think you're going to ask, can you cover the tight end? Can you cover the slot receiver? No matter what they do to you,
and that's not his game.
The answer is neither.
Yeah, no,
he can't do either. Can't cover, isn't really good tackler anymore. Well, every once in a while, once a game, he'll pop the shit out of somebody and, okay, chin straps on. Got you.
Yeah.
That's not enough on this defense, man. I'm sorry. Like, and if you look at the safeties that are going to go around, they're going to go more than $5 million. Like, all these dudes are significantly better players.
Yeah.
Significantly more diverse in what they can do.
Yeah.
If you want to tell me it's a cheap, like, just have me back, I want to contribute in some way, $2-3 million deal, like, I'll listen.
But this is probably his last chance as a multi-year guy.
Yes.
Unless he takes a pillow contract and does that next year. But here, if he's coming back on a 1-year deal, it's not to be a featured dude. So he wouldn't get his bounce back.
Wouldn't get it. Would not get it no matter what. I think unless everything just goes absolutely to shit and there's no one else to play.
Right.
Like, which we've had years like that where it's been like comical.
It's football.
You're down to like the fifth cornerback and things like that. But he's about to be 31. He's had some good years and those have taken the toll. And he can't cover anything, any position anymore. And he's the target.
Yeah.
He is the target. He's the milk check, right? Whenever the white linebacker comes into the game and you go, that one, like, that's Dono. Like, that's just how it works, dude.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do the one thing that he
used to do.
He can do pretty well is pop anymore because he's honestly too slow to get in the play a lot of the time.
And this defense won't give him opportunities to push that easy button to do that thing to whatever capacity he has left. So it's a thanks for the memories. Yeah. Shake his hand. We appreciate you. Clean break situation.
And I actually like this safety class. The more I looked into it.
Yeah.
Right? Jalen Thompson at Arizona. Big fan. Geno Stone can play a little bit. Cam Curl if you want to get pricey. Reed Blankenship. Somebody knows a lot about Reed Blankenship over there in Frisco.
Yeah.
Might be the DC. Might be able to get the most out of Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
Ardarius Washington, right? There's a handful of dudes here that I'm like, yeah, that's a significantly more complete player. Jaquan Brisker, Jalen Hawkins. Like, all these dudes, and we're talking, again, about a position that gets truncated. The best of the best might get like $12 million a year. These dudes that are in the mud, in the middle right there, that are clearly better than Donovan Wilson, but clearly not as good as, the number one guy named Jalen Thompson and the dudes that are going to get those kind of numbers. Or who's the Chiefs guy? Where'd he go? Brian Cook is going to get paid. He's the one that's going to get paid. The safety from Kansas City. He'll get
real money.
12.
Real money, yeah.
12. Donovan Wilson's down here at 5. Everybody else that's worth a shit is living like 6 to 8.
Yeah, I'll spend a little more.
Give me that guy.
Yeah, I agree.
And you might not even need this type of player, to be honest, because I'd like to do whatever you need to do to get Caleb Downs.
Oh, yeah, we're in agreement on that.
I'd like to.
We're going to talk about this probably every other week until the draft.
When
he's not a Dallas Cowboy.
If you move back, I want flexibility to take Emmanuel Wilson, the Toledo safety, Thinneman, Oregon. I don't want to close the door on safety because I've already committed $5-6 million on a friendly, hey, thanks for your time, Donovan Wilson deal. So not good enough on the field, not good enough on the cap sheet, and obviously aging out.
Yeah, that's a recipe for
had some
on.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Had some fun times. Dude.
Got way more out of him than you should have.
You played your ass off. I'm sorry those first couple of years you didn't get a lot of snaps. You didn't play much, and those are gone. But you probably weren't good enough to contribute. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Had really peaked for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Good job, William Clay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we talked about last week. Go find me the next Donovan Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. So, anyway, great player. Sorry time doesn't wait for anybody. And sorry you can't cover anymore. But, brother, we're moving on. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. You know what we're moving on to? Moving on to Kevin Turner.
Super excited.
Main events.
Let's do it.
Yeah, KT coming on next.
Welcome back to StrongSide, episode 15, the Brad Davis of episodes, if you know, you know. I'm Mike Marshall, that's Mike Palucci still, and this man, Kevin KT Turner, in the house.
Our guy.
Last week you went on and on about you and Cato doing podcasts in like 2018.
Yeah, you guys did a whole show.
I think we invented podcasts.
We were the
I'm
first.
Not joking. Like 2008, we were doing podcasts on GarageBand.
Yes.
Yeah, GarageBand. That's a flex. That's
in
a flex.
his on a Snowball blue microphone.
Yep.
In his living room, in Denton, Texas. So we got about 20 years on you. So catch up.
Yeah, Marshall.
And a TV show.
And a TV show.
Let's give you guys all your props.
Yeah.
Yep.
Marshall Turner Overdrive.
That's what
Don't look it up.
Don't Google it.
It's a great name though. It's
Please
a great
don't
name.
Google it. Don't Google it. Yeah, but one of my best friends in the world, my guy KT, Kevin Turner, finally booked him. Had to work through a lot of agents, a lot of managers.
Oh my God.
A lot of red tape.
Yes.
He's big time.
I've been busy. I have so many jobs. I'm helping put together the parking garage outside too.
Nice.
I've been doing some physical labor.
You work
as well.
fast. I feel like you're really getting the brickwork going.
Well, I've noticed that where AI is taking us, it's going to be good to know some trades.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to 3D printers? I feel like that was like be a thing like 5 years ago, and now I don't hear anybody talk about the 3D printer.
They're too expensive to buy.
Is that it?
Like I know a dude that started making camera parts with he bought like a 3D printer. He started making camera parts.
Okay.
Made like $1 million. Bought like 3 more 3D printers. Made like $10 million.
Wow.
It's just like these little specific pieces. But you got to be like an engineer. You got to be hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We solved that.
Installing the stairs outside. I thought stairs were one big piece.
Nah.
They're all
No.
broken into different pieces.
No,
That scared the piss out of me.
dude, it's some
When I
IKEA
saw that.
sthere.
Yeah. So do better on that, I guess. is what
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So that's been our civil engineering podcast. It's been a great show. You guys are great. President's Day.
Yeah. One Star Cowboys podcast. Listen to that.
This is really exciting for me to be here because I have an NFT of y'all's podcast as well. And so this is really cool to get
very
to
rare.
person.
They're hard to find.
Yeah.
Priceless value.
Yes.
They're very hard to find. Yeah. What's Machota's deal?
Well, great
start
question.
there?
And
Start
honestly, this might be the whole episode. I don't fully know. What I can tell you about John is that John, he really loves covering the Cowboys.
He
Like,
does.
we all know that.
He's good at it.
He's
too.
And-
damn
really
good at it.
But he's got takes on a bunch of things. Like, for instance, he did not enjoy the movie One Battle After Another.
Oh.
And I'm not saying you had to like the movie to
Not
have
smart enough to get it.
Well, I was kind of like, oh, what do you mean you didn't like it? He's
Didn't
like, well,
get it?
everyone's overrating it. And I think every time something gets real hyped, he is just wired to kind of undercut it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Except Paul McCartney.
It's a Paul
For
McCartney.
some reason, you pass this bar, and then it's like you're the best. But until you get there, I'm gonna be counterculture guy.
Yeah. He will also drive to a concert and come back that night,
I
because
respect that.
he's got to be at the Brian Schottenheimer press conference.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean-
I love John. So I edited John at the Athletic. I've known him for a long time. And what I love about John is like Like, he's a verbal, like, knuck if you buck kind of guy. Like, you want to talk some shit, John Machota will talk some shit.
There is no doubt.
Yeah.
He's looking to get in. Well, he's not looking for it, but if you catch him,
that's it. He's a counterpuncher.
Yeah. If something crosses his ears, and he'll be like, oh, hold on.
That's the Michigan coming out in him.
Yeah, it is.
Detroit.
Yeah.
That's the most Detroit of him. Actually, a pretty good basketball player, too.
He is.
I was surprised.
He's solid. Yeah, he's got game.
Like the White Shadow or something.
Yeah. He also knows a lot of old school hip hop and stuff.
He does.
I buy that.
Interesting guy. I'm just interested because I'm like, me and Machota could be best friends, and he says like the dumbest shit sometimes about culture, and I'm like, we cannot be the best friends. I'm like, turn around.
John can be my best friend. I love him. He's got a great shoe
him.
game too. Great, always rocking some good Jordans, which I respect.
I love him.
Well.
He could be my third best friend. That's fine.
Okay.
John. Anytime we can hang out as long as we don't listen to music or watch shows or whatever. All right, so the off season has started. Let's get a vibe check from you on how you feel heading into this off season with the work that needs to be done.
Well, I mean, first of all, we have no idea what the new defensive coordinator sounds like.
A funny voice, doesn't he?
It is. He must have
High pitched.
It's wild because
They're a warble.
Like, it's weird because like he's 34, but we all pretty much like the interesting hire. We like it. We like a coaching search.
Oh yeah,
Big fan of that.
Way cooler than just being like. And I like doing stuff with my friends too. But it's a smarter business move than to just be like, let's get all my buddies in here to run the cap and be the defensive coordinator. And I think it's strange. It was a potentially good PR move for the Cowboys to like run him out there.
Yeah.
And we don't know where Christian Parker is right now.
He chose not to do it.
He's in the bunker.
Very strange.
Watching tape.
Hopefully that's it. And they're going to use, we're filling out the coaching staff and all that. So, number one, what is the scheme? I mean, we can kind of know like what he's done.
I know what Vic Fangio did.
Yeah.
He worked for Vic Fangio, but yeah, I don't know. I'd love to pin him down and be like, hey, what are you running against this front?
Well, and if it's a lot of different things, I like that too. But I think that sets a tone for what type of player profiles are you looking for in the draft and in free agency. So I think right now it's kind of hard to know without seeing it. And maybe they want to keep it a mystery. It's just they have a Kenny Clark decision too that they won't admit that they have. Because Steven's already like talked about how they want to keep him and all that. But like Kenny Clark's contract number needs to come down. Yeah. And they'll probably move it and they can move a lot of players' money around. So to me, that's one interesting thing. I think another thing that needs to get handled is a decision on Terrence Steele. You don't owe him any more guaranteed money. You can save some money by making him a post-June 1st cut. To me, he's also your only offensive lineman who played every game last year, and there's a lot of value there and not messing around with trying to find another offensive tackle or the Tyler Smith thing that they did at the end of last year. Like, oh, shit, you play left guard. Oh, we're going to play him at left tackle. But there's nothing to see here. Like, if Tyler Guyton needs to play right tackle, you can move on from Terrence Steele. They won't say it. You can play Terrence Steele at guard. He's done it before. But it probably makes sense to move on from him. But that's like a domino that needs to fall before we get to free agency in the draft. There's a lot to figure out, and we just have a missing defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Well, let's talk free agency for a sec. Our David Moore, the great David Moore, wrote something for us at D Magazine last week. He called a shot a little bit. He said, and you could probably thank Robert Kraft for this, and Jerry just being a little bit of a pissing contest. But his theory is that this is the year Jerry does things with a capital D and a capital T. Like this isn't going to be let's do the Kaiir Elam rehab project times 12. There's going to be actual players coming in the door. Do you buy this or not?
I mean, it does feel like David Moore's right quite a bit, right?
Hey, that is what he does.
Think about him.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish he was wrong every now and then. But like, to me, they still come back to, they do something every year. Like you mentioned, it just doesn't always enough to get us excited. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't get our blood moving. That's different. They think they do something. I don't see that changing. They're going to do a little bit more because they, have a little bit more money or they create a little bit more money. That's fine. I mean, it all goes back to George Pickens, and I know it's a bigger topic. I don't think unless Christian Parker comes in and has a lot of say too. Mm-hmm. Here is I'm gonna throw out Reed Blankenship. Adoree Jackson's awful, but it's a player the Cowboys liked when they drafted Leighton Vander Esch that year, I believe. They liked Adoree Jackson.
USC Trojan, brother. Great USC Trojan.
And if
it's only been 9 years, it still applies.
Yeah, Christian Walker's like, well, he's better than the other guys you have here, so he'll be like $1 million.
CB1.
Yeah,
I know him.
He's not good anymore, no.
So I think that's interesting how much say he'll have in what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's going to be that different. I think it's patch holes, and then maybe there's more holes patched because they traded some more draft picks when they did the Quentin Williams thing, and they're sitting day 2 of the draft out at this point. But I think David can be right. Like it can be right and wrong here because that's all. They always do something. It's just not much.
What move would signal changing your mind on that front? Is it like Nakobe Dean at a decent number and sticking to the draft picks being defensive players, or what would go? Oh, they're not playing anymore.
Well, that's the hot one is Nakobe Dean. That changes a lot of things. But the other thing would be just doing the George Pickens contract when it needs to be done instead of this thing going.
My sweet summer child.
Like there's your signifier. Oh, we are doing things different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we know who we're dealing with here. They're not going to do things that are that uncomfortable to them because, same old story.
I kind of have a theory about this that ties into the George Pickens situation. And we can just dive into it right now on the Pickens front. But I think they want to be doing grown-up things again, be doing serious moves. But the only way in which Jerry has control over decisions now is in trades. Yeah. And someone told him that you might be able to trade George Pickens. And he's like, oh, hold up on that contract. Let daddy cook for a minute. And so he's going to tag him and then call his friends and be like, so you heard of George Pickens? Rather than just take care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it's a $28 million cap hit if you're doing the franchise tag, which is smaller than obviously the dollar AAV he's probably wanting, which is definitely a sticking point. And
sure.
I just think you live in a world of absolutely being on the fringe of pissing somebody off in modern NFL terms if you franchise them. Whenever they are at their peak value.
Yeah, especially a dude who, let's say he can have a wide emotional reaction to things, right? George contains multitudes emotionally. So, it's one thing if you're doing this with Dak and Dak's just sitting there all right, that's fine. I'm going to fuck you in the end of this. It's cool. George, I don't know how George is going to take this.
Well, and same agent as Micah. So we all know the story here, how this will play out. The thing about George Pickens is, he's great. He's awesome. I don't know that I'm trying to give him a 5-year deal at more money than you're already paying CeeDee Lamb. We know what George Pickens is. Mm-hmm. He's pretty great. He's everything that was advertised, just a better quarterback, and we'll still put you in some second and 25s because he got a personal foul penalty. All those things are not going away. Those will change. We're going to ask, why did he quit on that game in Detroit? This will never change with him. That's who he is. The difference here is there's more momentum that way because of what happened with Micah, because CeeDee Lamb and Dak are openly talking about it, even though when they were saying those things, George Pickens was 5 or 10 yards away at the Pro Bowl, hanging out. So, it would make the fan base happy, I guess. But I don't know. Franchising him is the smart thing to do, honestly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might disagree with that because all the money's guaranteed and all that stuff. I get that. But $28 million, you would be paying him 5 years at 36 or 37, and you could probably find a way to get out of it. I think I would go year by year with George Pickens and be fine because I always feel like I can find a wide receiver too. That's another thing. You look at these drafts every single year. That's a deep position in the draft. I feel like I can get one. And I'm not talking about settling for Jalen Tolbert in the 3rd round. I'm talking about drafting CeeDee Lamb at pick 17. Mm-hmm. And Justin Jefferson went top 20 right there. Those types of guys, I feel like I can get that. So that's where I am at that specific position with that specific player because he's not going to change, the things that happen that frustrate you about him. That won't change. And hopefully the good stuff doesn't change either.
Yeah, I'm nervous about in the mid-season, week 9, I was like, whatever you want, George.
Yeah.
Write it down. Write it down, baby. We'll do it. And then as the season grew longer and I was like, oh, yeah, this is the same dude. I feel like the thing that's getting lost in this entire conversation is that if George Pickens is a Steeler last season, what do you think his market value is?
Oh.
20 a year?
20.
20, 25?
Yeah.
Probably.
Like, you have inflated market value because you came here and we propped you up. Yeah. I'm sure that's going to be the opening line. I'm sure David Malata or whatever, he's going to say, get the F out of here pretty quickly. And then my counter is like, cool, do it again. Do it again, and then we'll take care of the contract next offseason. If you can be cool, be a good teammate, be as productive, let's cut down on some offensive pass interference calls and maybe on a slant, maybe finish your route a little bit, the little things that are driving me insane about him. I think that is the smartest play because we propped up his value, whatever that percentage is, I would say a quarter because he was playing with Dak Prescott in that offense.
No doubt. And there are some numbers that George Pickens has that are better than CeeDee Lamb's because CeeDee got hurt at the beginning of the year.
Right, yeah.
It's like, well, I did it without CeeDee Lamb, though. Look at all these numbers. It's like, well, where were you at the end of the year, though? Because we have a couple examples of you when we needed you when CeeDee Lamb was out of a game because of a concussion. If you're just not trying.
Yeah, now, to be like, I suppose the small silver line to that is because he is there. We talked about this. Ryan Flournoy doesn't get to triple digits in that game if George Pickens out there vacuuming all the attention to him, right? So that's the idea that you have those dual gravitational points. I mean, I could see the argument. Look, in a vacuum, I think you guys are right. You franchise him and tell him to do it again. Do you trust your room to keep him motivated and in line and not losing his mind? I don't think motivation is the problem per se. I think he'll work hard, but just like, will you trust that he's not going to go into business for himself?
Yeah. No.
Suddenly, I mean, I think back to little things like the little night before in Vegas with him and CeeDee Lamb. I never heard of CeeDee Lamb doing things like that. Until George Pickens was around. I'm not saying I know. Maybe CeeDee was just waiting the whole time to go out in Vegas. But
want to do bad things.
It's an interesting coincidence.
I know, right? And dude, they stayed off the strip that night, so they were at some dog shit casino.
Went to because they were like at downtown Vegas has some gems, man.
I guess.
I'm sitting there imagining him. I went to a great tiki bar in downtown Vegas where degenerates of like their 60s are playing like friggin' slots, smoking cigs, drinking Mai Tais.
Keto.
I want to imagine that's what's going on. Just them drinking Mai Tais with old timers at a tiki bar.
Keto.
Just a little.
Don't even know the rules.
Fear and loathing in Las Vegas. George and CD action going on.
All right. Well, look, I think we know the deal with George Pickens. I think everybody knows the stakes. We probably need to talk a lot about the defense, which to me really means talking more about the back seven, right? Yeah. We know that, there's a Kenny Clark decision, but they've got defensive tackles. They've got pieces of some measure of quality at edge. We're going to talk about that later. What interests me is the back seven. What do you actually think is there that you trust as a core piece to build this thing around?
Well, that's where it gets tough because your best player in the back seven is also a big-time injury red flag and overshown.
The biggest red flag.
Deron Bland, is a top 3 corner for you on your team, right? We
making top 10 NFL money.
We'll pay him like a cornerback 1, and then that's 2 severe foot injuries, which is just feet are tough at that position. I liked Ravel a lot and liked the pick, but he should not have played last year. No. Clearly, he should have never run out there. I still think there's hope for Kalen Carson too.
Okay.
Not to say, hey, you're starting, but to go compete for a job. So they've got to get cornerback settled, and that's why you have picks 12 and 20, and you got to do one of those there, I think, at corner. Safety's interesting to me. Malik Hooker's here, and you can work with that for a year. Malik Hooker's not great, but you're not paying him anything, and he doesn't expose you too much.
Right.
Donovan Wilson, it's weird because Donovan Wilson is weirdly a leader of the defense and stuff and all that stuff that matters a little bit.
He is the longest tenured Cowboy on the defense.
I just don't need him and Marquise Bell and some of these guys back. I don't. Those are how you lose. When the defense can go, here's the guy I'm going at. He says in the playoffs. When you can go, okay, this is where I'm going here. Whoever's on him, there you go. You can't have that. And maybe you can disguise some of those things or whatever. But, they've got a lot of work to do. And that's not to mention not having any defensive ends either. So, I mean, it's very
So the answer is nobody you capably, dependably build around.
The goal is to be, and Grant, I don't know how much of Matt Eberflus's scheme and people just, I tend to think a lot of what happened last year was literally during the week, players not listening to their teacher. I think there was a lot of that going on. And that happened with Mike Nolan. Just get a guy in here who's just not relating to the team.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to learn anything. Think about any teacher who bored the shit out of you growing up. You're like, well, I didn't learn much from them. Like if I felt like I was in the same wavelength with the teacher, I was able to take in more information. I think it was more of that. So like, I have like no expectation this is going to be a middle of the road defense. Can it be top 24 or whatever that means, whatever metric you're looking for? Can they show enough of an improvement that you're just not leaving the offense hanging out to dry? Because the offense has some things to clean up too, but the offense is good enough to be a playoff team in the NFC. The NFC, it looks like really great, but like they're good enough already, assuming you have a healthy CeeDee Lamb and Dak and Pickens. Already, they're good. It's like the Bengals. It's amazing how much they're like the Bengals. So, your answer though, like, tell me what they do in the draft. Well, they don't have any day 2 picks. Like,
let's get there.
Yeah.
Let's get there. So obviously 12-20 right now. You know anything about the Cowboys? About 70% of the time they move one or go and do something with it, right? So I'm not going to say it's going to stay at 12-20, but if it does, I hate predetermining draft picks.
Yeah.
I don't like saying I have to go get a wide receiver this year. I have to go get a left tackle this year. I feel like you have to take defenders at 12-20, but then that also leaves you open to being like, Carnell Tate falls to 12, and you're like,
Ooh.
I actually haven't considered this, so I'm too scared of it at this moment. I don't like closing, when you confine your decision-making capabilities to this little room, you make bad decisions. You make suboptimal decisions. That being said, I think unless something insane happens, they have to use 12-20 on defense. Do you see any way out of that?
Oh, I could see them absolutely taking an offensive lineman at 12.
Name Tyler.
Right tackle?
Name Tyler.
There's no Tylers.
That's what you think. They'll find him.
They'll find a Tyler.
They'll find him.
Yeah.
Actually, his nickname's Tyler, guys.
We might have one actually. I don't think I've seen him yet, but we might have a Tyler. I could see that at 12 because here's the problem: the guys that you really normally every year at 12 you feel confident that you'll get a Micah or a Rashawn Slater and feel good about that, and I'm not sure that's the case this year because the people you want to fall to you. I mean, Caleb Downs jumps at us, of course. Probably not going to happen.
Shut up about Caleb Downs. He's an awful player.
Yeah.
Nobody
Don't
should
draft
take him.
safeties.
Did you guys look at his knee yet? Did anybody look at his knee yet? I'm just going to start.
He transferred from Georgia. That means he runs from a fight.
God.
Character risk.
Yeah.
Drop him.
Heard he runs his water.
Oh.
During times when we should be conserving water.
Oh.
Yeah. Hates the
He
environment.
breaks the neighborhood
You want that
watering rules.
infecting your locker room? Nope.
Yep.
Probably should let him drop down to 12.
Bad guy. He's the guy who hires the lawn company to come cut his yard, and there's 7 a.m. I'm still trying to sleep.
Yeah.
7 a.m. There they are,
Crazy.
making noise like, hey, you don't need your yard mode, man.
You want that in your community?
Looks like the
Representing
whole
the Dallas
neighborhood.
Cowboys, representing the star? No, you don't.
Can't win with it.
Caleb Downs rules.
Incredible.
Now your Carnell Tate or wide receiver scenario, because that's where
That's real.
They should be thinking about okay, what if I did that and this $35 million
I don't need Pickens. Yeah.
out the door?
Yeah.
That's where that's a classic machine move too. Reverse engineering what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Is that a best use of your assets? Like better than our ham-fisted defense? Should we go actually, guys, Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon at 12, and then I'm going to trade Pickens for a defender?
Now we're
let's
talking.
Crank it up.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing, right? I think if you're getting one of those receivers, especially Tate, right? I can see Lemon a little more because he's a lot more of a pure slot who could move a little outside versus Tate's a classic outside guy. I think Carnell Tate is there at 12. It means probably that all of Downs, Sonny Styles, and Mensah Lane are gone.
Yes.
So then at that point, you're not going out of your way to attack defense and force your way into it, right? I don't think he gets there without you meaningfully watering down your options. It's not like I don't see a world in which Carnell Tate and, let's say, Sonny Styles are both there at 12. So for me, at that point, you were incentivized to just say, I'm going to take the linebacker who could do everything I want. But, yeah, if the board doesn't break your way and everybody goes defense, people aren't as hyped on, the second banana in the Ohio State offense, even if the first banana is a monster. I don't know, man. I mean, it would be
It's take defense, but don't break your back reaching, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that for you not to take defense there, you have to know that the second move is going to work. And with this front office and who's really at the controls, it's like a parlay in Vegas, right? The more legs you have to hit, the less good you feel about your money.
Sure.
The more moves I need Jerry Jones to make this team work. It's all well and good to say, hey, Carnell Tate, rookie scale deal, let's flip George Pickens or something. We sure we're going to trust him to flip him for that good something? We sure we're going to trust the move after the move to be where it should be with this organization? That's my concern.
They don't have any trust with us, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But I think I do think they do a pretty good job of running through draft scenarios, in terms of the draft. But things like what you mentioned, looking ahead to the George Pickens thing, I think they've got their eyes set on George Pickens and they're going to do it.
Yes, I do.
Just based off a few things you've seen and heard. But I start to think of things I think they would like, just because I know how much they always loved linebackers, how high they had. And it's 10 years ago now, so you need to change things, but still the same people running the draft.
Yeah, they took Van Der Esch when I worked there, and I was about to burn the building down.
I was like, what are we doing?
Like, another off-ball linebacker.
Now, I do
Son of a
think,
bitch.
and we're gonna talk about this as we get deeper into draft stuff. I do think Sonny Styles is enough of an outlier that to me, it's not a Caleb Downs level outlier, but I don't think Caleb Downs is getting at 12. But Sonny Styles is freaky enough at what he does and has so much experience playing all over the place that to me, this isn't your typical off-ball linebacker.
He'll be gone. There's no, I would be surprised, because to me, Sonny Styles is I have very few questions about him.
Right.
A little bit in coverage, maybe. The questions that I have about even Ruben Bain, the defensive end from Miami, even David Bailey at Tech, who's awesome.
Well,
and I don't think he's getting there, because if defensive end is your play, those questions are non-existent for Sonny Styles compared to the other guys.
Right, but I think teams get caught up in positional value. And this is, because for me, the edge position is the thing that I can't wrap my brain around how this works, right? We talked about this. Every one of these edges has something about it that you're just like, ooh. But it's not like the edge roster they've got right now is very good.
No, it's horrible.
It's Donovan Ezerico maybe being something, and then a bunch of flyers, some of whom hit to some marginal degree. I don't even know what you do about that. I don't know what your out is there unless you go pay up for Max Crosby or something, which they're wild ass enough they might do it. I don't know.
They're going to try to get Clowney back in here. Clowney allegedly liked it here. Clowney has also gamed the system of the 1-year deal.
Yeah.
And I think
we talked about him last week. Yeah.
I think he likes training camp. I'll see you in week 4. But I would like for them to have a plan and be ready to go, and maybe not hijack training camp like they did last year. Let's maybe not castrate the head coach.
Yeah.
In his first year. Let's maybe not do that. Maybe let's just be normal for a minute. Go to camp like everyone else does, and actually try to win games.
Yeah.
For once.
Camp is supposed to be about figuring out your schemes and improving as a team together and building that chemistry. It's not a telenovela. That's not what camp is supposed to be.
They turn it into that every year because they can't help it. I think if Bain gets freaked, if Bain freaks people out because of his arms, he's got short arms. Whatever. Right. Ruben Bain's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I could see him getting to 12 more than Sonny Styles. I think David Bailey will go too because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legit.
The guy I love, and you guys may have this might be a philosophy thing. I love Mesidor from Miami. Now, I have a lot in common with him. Well, actually, I just want to get to know him. I have some questions for him because I have narcolepsy, and he said in an interview that he had narcolepsy.
Solved it?
But it doesn't bother him anymore, and that's just not how narcolepsy works. There's no cure for it.
We've got there's a pipeline of narcoleptic pass rusher to elite in the league with Sergio Kindle and now Isidore.
Yes. And you would want him to have a better career than Sergio Kindle. And
I did not realize Sergio Kindle had that on the ledger.
Serge was great at Texas, man.
Yeah. He was great. Zach Buchanan did a really awesome feature on him a couple years ago about everything that happened. And,
I like Mesidor. I think he's a real nasty boy.
Does 25 bother you?
He's old and his feet don't work.
The feet.
That's tough.
Why is it feet?
Dude. I don't know, dude. I think we're doing too much. We're putting too much force on these young men's feet.
Yes.
Consistently. And he's played football for 14 years now in his life. So maybe that has something to do with it. But he is.
That's a dog.
Yeah, dude. He looks like a bad A MF.
I think if that's the dude, you're trading back from 20. I don't think you jump him at 20.
Yeah, and that's probably right. Because of all these things. Although, I tend to not really worry about the age too much right there for him because I need this and I'm trying to win now. Let's make no mistake about it. You have Dak Prescott being the highest paid player in football. You should be going, as they like to say, all in. You should be doing that every year, and your actions should follow. And they don't always do that. But I think that's the balance of Steven thinking about the next 3 years always. And Jerry, not really. God knows what he's thinking about.
I don't know.
But like,
Where's
there's
the Johnny Walker Blue, dog?
just too much like input.
Mm-hmm.
Mesidor helps you next year,
Mm-hmm.
and at pick 20, I'm okay with that. Now we're talking back to 12. Like realistically, are you taking the cornerback? Are you going LSU corner, Delane?
Yep.
Are you taking
McCoy?
I mean, McCoy's.
It would be very
Great.
Cowboys to get the guy with the torn ACL.
Yeah, but he's so good.
He's gonna test at some point, right? And show you he's okay.
I think so, and I think they'll probably like Terrell too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think now that's the whole thing is what flavor profile of all these players does Christian Parker like?
Yeah,
because it feels like he'll have a lot to say.
I think of the edges, like if you start getting down into Cassius Howell, into TJ Parker, into Keldrick Falk, like Mesidor is so much better to me than those dudes.
Yeah.
And the only thing is his feet and his age. And this happens all the time. It's like Tyler Shuck last year whenever he got drafted, and they're like, he's 25. He was playing whenever Juwan Johnson was at Oregon. And I'm like, week 8, whenever he's nuking your team, you don't give a crap. It's not he scores a touchdown and then you go, let's check that DOB real quick, date of birth. All right, you're too old to score that touchdown. That's not how it works, especially on a team that is like win in the next 2 to 3 years or else.
Yeah.
I think Mesidor makes a lot of sense as long as they can get x-rays of his feet and make sure they're not duck feet.
This is where free agency is going to tell us a lot because whatever happens, and I love that the NFL does free agency before the draft. Like, it's great because you kind of can start doing the puzzle pieces. But either way, you leave the first round, and whatever the scenario is, if you didn't go cornerback edge, either way, you're going to be going, well, Jesus, I need a cornerback or I need an edge.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they should do edge and corner or vice versa. Like, they should take whoever the best player is on their.
They got needs everywhere. That's not defensive tackle.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And don't be surprised if it's Francis Malioga from Miami, the offensive tackle, and then Spencer Fano or whatever.
It's just Tyler Malinois.
And then
Tyler Fano.
What they call him.
Tyler Fano.
Oh, God damn it. They got a Tyler.
There's a right tackle. There you go.
Okay, this all ties together, so I want to bring it up. The free agent defender class that I think is actually the deepest, and for some reason it's a lot like running back where people just won't pay these players what they're worth unless you're like the best of the best, is safety. Like, I think the safety class is actually like pretty good. But then you start stacking it up with, okay, if I sign my safety, then I can't make a play for Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
You know, Nakobe Dean's interesting, but there's like 1 or 2 Nakobe Deans that I trust. I'm into spending money on the positions that don't start getting up towards 20 million, 25 million, right? So linebacker, safety.
Sure.
For some reason, we've just decided these guys are not worth that much money.
Yep.
But whenever you look at, okay, number one, it matters the depth of the free agent class. That's a big deal, right? But on the defensive side, if you could say, give me this one free agent, the defender side, who would you like them to add?
I would say, well, Nakobe Dean's first, right? But talking about like at safety?
No, just either any edge, linebacker, corner, or safety.
Well, first of all, I would like to have Clowney back if he's under like $8 million. So like, let's like do that again because everyone liked him. It's like that's cool.
Yeah,
we can vibe off that. Probably cornerback. I feel like I can figure out safety, and I feel like also Donovan Wilson could be a default because no one's going to be offering him anything.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It sucks, but
yeah. I mean, my thing with him is just if you're playing too high, you can't bring Donovan Wilson back as part of that scheme. I just don't think you fit. What's going to happen here?
And and if that's what I think. Well, just looking like the ratios of coverages and stuff, they're going to play a lot of that, but they're going to play a lot of everything, and you can sub guys in and out. Cornerback is always good to add bodies there because you can't trust Deron Bland now.
Yep.
And it sucks, but you can't. And I know everyone got excited because he had a pick 6 last year. Yeah, watch the throw again. Marcus Mariota was playing quarterback, and
you can just stop there.
Just like,
you can stop when Marcus Mariota was playing quarterback.
Like, no offense, I don't have any pick 6s in the NFL, but God, let's not overrate that one. So I mean, like, there's a few names. Like, I'm interested to see. There is Hawkins from New England who's interesting. The Rams have 2 safeties, but did they sign Quentin Lake already?
Quentin Lake wasn't on the list yesterday. Okay. Cam Curl was, but that's 10 plus a year. I think,
Yeah, I mean,
as a safety.
anyone good is going to cost you a little bit of money, right?
Yeah.
But they'll have money if they
and it's
redo everything.
It's 10 to 12 a year at a cap that could be pushing close to 300.
Yeah.
To your point, right? This is when we had the Javonte talk a few weeks ago. This is my whole thing where it's just like, it's going to be $10 million. You know what you're getting. You don't want to play running back roulette again and waste time. I'm fine with it.
Okay. So Nakobe Dean is your answer?
Oh, yeah.
If you had one for whatever market value is, Nakobe Dean's your guy? Okay. I'm going to hit you with 3 options here, okay? This is choose your own adventure. And this kind of like wraps up what we were talking about with 12 and 20 and downs and et cetera, right? Trade 12 for Max Crosby is option 1. Trade 12 and 20 for downs in a second. Obviously, it's teams above you, so it'd be a pretty high second. You're looking at 32 to 40-ish. Or trade Pickens for Max Crosby.
I would trade Pickens for Max Crosby, keep 12 and 20.
So would I.
Because at 12, you would, because at that point, even if Tate's off the board, one of Tate, Lemon, or Tyson will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the drop off after that.
And then you're good.
Steep. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. We can talk about Max Crosby real quick if you want to.
Yeah. I don't know how realistic it is or not because whatever he's saying is not what the Raiders are thinking.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Gun Spytek's not like, oh, noted.
Yeah, I don't think Clint Kubiak's just like, I'm my first head coaching job. You want to trade my star edge? Yeah, that's not happening, boys. Yeah.
And I love Max Crosby. I think he's a pretty cool dude, and I think he's a badass on the football field. He's gonna be 30 really, really soon.
Yeah,
I thought is he not even 30 yet? I thought he was gonna be 31. Okay,
and he's costs a lot of money.
Yeah, he's
you're kind of double sinking a pick and a giant cap number into a position in which I think you probably need multiples.
Like Quinnen Williams,
like
trading for Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like
if you're already doing that.
Yeah, I mean if you're already tilted, like
Dak is
keep throwing chips at the table.
Yeah,
I mean that's the whole Dak window. It's what it is.
Yeah. If you want to talk to me about 20 for Max Crosby, like we can.
Yeah. And the smart play, honestly, if you're trying to fully restructure the defense, is the Caleb Downs option.
Oh, I was going to say that would be my answer: is get Downs and get a 2 because I think it gets real flat from 20 to whatever this 2 would be somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't see them sitting out day 2 of the draft.
No, either.
Nope.
They're too busy.
Yeah,
you know,
they won't like that. Jerry will get the shakes. He'll do something.
Yeah.
He really will.
And busy is not necessarily productive, but I just don't see that happening. So something will happen there. And honestly, is the difference in the pick at 12 and 20 that much for this team? If we're talking about positions we know they won't take.
I think 12, you still have a dream that somebody falls to you that you really, really
Agreed.
like.
Agreed. And then you're picking at the top, or at least near the top of the corner market.
I don't know what likelihood that is, right? Like, I don't know if that's like a 30% chance that somebody you really, really love gets to 12.
Yeah.
20, there's no chance, right? You're getting smoked.
Yeah. No, I absolutely think you're getting smoked. There's like no quarterbacks to help push it.
Mm-hmm.
There's not we're talking about Tate being there at 12, whatever. If someone likes Jordan Tyson, whatever. Like all those wide receivers, like it wouldn't surprise you if any of those guys is picked at 25.
Mm-hmm.
Likely they'll be. With Tate and Tyson, like I think that's something that's like could fall. Usually there's wide receivers that go faster. The one running back will go probably.
I don't know. I think those 3 will be gone by 25. I just think there's not enough good positions in this draft, is what it comes down to.
How many defenders do we think goes top 20? I was just trying to do the math in my head, and I was like, 14?
A lot.
Bain and Bailey.
Well, do the other side. Do like what offensive players are you?
What offensive players? Okay.
I mean,
like 2 tackles, right?
Jeremiah Love. Sorry, Jeremiah Love. I'll say at least 2 receivers. I'll say at least 2 linemen. Probably. I would say probably 7 to 8. So, but I think.
Let's say 13 defenders. 20 picks.
Yeah.
I think 8 at the most.
Yeah, I think 8
for sure.
I think 8 at the most. But I think like it would not shock me. I bet all 3 of the big receivers go. You could see a third lineman like a Vega Ionone has been rumored to get in there. Kenyon Sadiq just takes one guy to get real hyped about that dude. I'm not wild about him, but I could see it. You also look at a really good receiver. Like I don't know if it's a really good receiver draft, but it's a deep receiver draft. Somebody
Yeah.
falls in love with KC Concepcion.
Yeah.
Somebody looks at Denzel Boston and was like, give me that as an X.
Yeah.
So I could see 8 happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you have the capability of getting smoked out at 22 almost.
No, absolutely.
So,
This is why I think offensive line's in play.
Well, that's why I think the
Yeah.
Caleb Downs thing would be the thing that I do. I think I could get a similar quality player in the second round. I think there's a world in which my options at 20 are great, but you give me a transformative force on my defense,
Yeah.
fine, cool, done.
I think they're going to try to do the old Travis Frederick move, trade back a long time ago. I know now, like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
But like if you look at some of their tackles, or it's Lomu, if it's, Freeling from Georgia, Blake Miller. I mean, those guys are really loving
A lot of guys in those ranges. Yeah.
Oh my God, Caleb Tiernan. Like, there's a solid starter, but he's like not amazing. But he's, they'll try to get back. It's like I just don't think anyone's coming up this year as much as like in years past where like we can talk about the rumor of the Rams coming up to get Ty Simpson at 21 or something. Like, okay.
Yeah, only,
maybe.
If one of those wide receivers does start drifting a little bit, if Jordan Tyson is down there at like 22, I could see somebody being like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
I need Jordan Tyson like right
Right.
now, please. Thank you. Someone that's just, really weak at the wide receiver position, New England or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could see somebody doing that, but besides that, you are looking at the same positions that the Cowboys are looking for around that space.
Sure.
So I don't know if 20 is the beginning of the ledge or if you're just missed the ledge on that tier of I have no more first-round picks and I have no more guys that I'm willing to take in this range. So F it, let's take the 32nd pick and get that 5th-year option.
The more we've talked through this, because you asked me about positions in free agency, the more we talk through this, I'm working myself and thinking about just them and how they think. And I've got myself in a hole where I'm thinking they end up taking an offensive tackle at 12 and they take best remaining cornerback at 20 and they try to find defensive ends. Because they've always done that.
Yeah. It's going to be right tackle at 12 and wide receiver at 20.
God.
You know this.
But like, there's some names like Colton Hood,
Yeah.
Brandon Cisse is the South Carolina corner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love
the little
Keith,
dudes, Pons and Rivers.
I don't love like Pons, Rivers. Keith Abney is he's fine. I don't love him. Christian Parker loves one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like, boom. There you go.
The safeties later are actually like pretty interesting.
That's interesting too. And I don't think, boy, it feels very early to come take Zakee Wheatley or McNeil Warren. Thieneman. I could see Christian Parker liking Thieneman too, because he can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we can have some more exciting whites.
You just say it's because he's white. You can just say it.
Well,
just say it.
He likes white DBs.
White DBs. We should be looking for this rarity.
Yeah, this is the market inefficient.
It's the market inefficient, for
the
sure.
Exciting white. All right, so we mentioned it a minute ago. We've debated the running back situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the side of like, if you're going to spend close to 10, just spend 15. Who cares? Go get the best running back available.
Which, to be fair, I agree that if you could get Breece Hall, spend a little more for Breece Hall. I'm just not anti-paying Javonte about $10 million a year, which is what I think it would probably cost.
Where do you stand?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't like that Stephen Jones is out saying like, "Hey, first order of business, we've already talked about Javonte Williams." Like, you're not seeing the whole field here. That's not the first guy we should be going after.
Yeah.
I like Javonte Williams fine, and if the idea is that you still care about Jaden Blue and you're still trying to develop him, it just sounds like they don't really like him. And I don't.
We come full circle on that random report from last year, but questioning Jaden Blue's character when everybody's just like, whoa, and the whole season played out. They're like, maybe that rando was onto something here.
Look, some of these guys just aren't like ready to be the NFL player. All right, whatever all that means. That sounds generic, but like.
Well, and maybe that also means he learns after a year. The problem they have is when you don't have day 2 and day 3 picks and you have so many problems on defense, you kind of box yourself into making bets on your roster somewhere. He might be a bet you have to make and hold your nose even if you don't like how he conducts his business.
What makes sense to me, first of all, what makes sense to me is someone who we know is not, you hope is not going to wear down. And Javonte Williams is a prime candidate for that. And I loved him coming out of college.
Oh, yeah. We had that talk here.
Yeah.
He was incredible before the knee injury.
I could see them liking someone like Travis Etienne someone who they liked years ago, and that feels washed up and run down, right? The other thing is, though, when you spend money, and granted it's not a lot, on a guy like Tyler Lipke, I need him to do more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to give him carries and stuff. I'm not trying, but I'm like, what's the story? Why did we just pay
I like
this
your
guy?
Freudian slip, by the way, of calling a blocker Tyler when his name's Hunter Lipke.
Yes, Hunter Lipke. Sorry, yes.
No, it's fine, though.
Well, I
It's
was
fine.
thinking about Tyler Klutz. So, because is it not the same guy? But like, what's wrong with bringing Rico Dowdle back?
Well,
That got ugly,
saying.
though. You know,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, a guy that cost $1 million, it got ugly.
Yeah, that was.
Why?
Yeah.
Like,
Here's the curveball I'm going to throw at you. Defenders go, okay, Fernando goes, and then defenders, one wide receiver goes top 11. Jeremiah Love's there at 12.
Woo.
that would be very Cowboys, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
That'd be so Cowboys to go for like 5 years straight. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And then you're like, I didn't learn.
But you could also, it's that thing of like tricking yourself just for a minute of
Yeah.
like, this might be a pretty good idea.
This could work.
It's like watching the first half of the Anthony Davis game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe. There's no way.
Turn the TV off after 2 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have an abductor strain, and history is. We've moved on, though. That's the good thing,
Yeah.
is we've all moved on.
The vision has changed.
Brees Hall?
Well, I'm all for that. I don't know if he
Gonna
makes
hurt
it a
guy.
I don't know if he makes it a market though. I mean, if you're the Jets, you're not taking any pick for him, right? If
Yeah.
you're tagging over 3 or 4, that tells me you're franchising him.
Kenny Walker just probably outpriced himself.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
hey, just have one UCLA guy get hurt and then let him do his thing. Like, we've all known Kenneth Walker was great, right?
Yeah.
We've just been sitting on waiting on this other guy to not be around anymore. Do you know who was fun to watch? And I haven't done a lot of running backs. I don't think the Cowboys need that. But I watched Jadarian Price.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there's a guy who gets no carries at Notre Dame because Jeremiah Love's awesome. But like most guys in that situation, you'd think would like kind of run weird and just like, he's like the most patient running back I've ever watched. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here going, okay, hold on. He knew, hey, I can chill and the NFL's ahead of me. Mm-hmm. I'm not like in a panic to go get these yards. I only get 5 carries this game.
My one worry is we did this exact thing with Roschon Johnson behind Bijan at Texas. About just like, oh, he's talented. If he wasn't playing behind Bijan Robinson, and he gets to the NFL at a prime situation where there's no competition, and he just never did anything. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes when it's actual expectations and it's an actual workload, I don't know. But this running back class past Love and maybe Jonah Coleman ain't that good. So
that's true. And Jadarian Price is the fumble god. We had 3 fumbles inside the 10-yard line last year.
Ooh.
He also was a kick return god. I watched him murder USC last year, so I've seen the juice.
I think if one of those dudes is there in the 4th round, which granted you have to do free agency before the draft, which sucks, but I'm fine with the 4th round running back and just being like, I don't want to depend on anything else.
If I had picks, sure. But when you don't have, when your defense has needs everywhere, this is where I mean, sometimes because of your poor roster management, you're boxed into taking some bets elsewhere. To me, it might be we have to do a year of Jaden Blue as the number 2 running back, whether or not we want to, because I can't burn a 4 on a running back when I have needs everywhere in my defense. And, what if that 4 is a move tight end when you and I are talking about 12 personnel? And this is a good, not a high end. This isn't like last year's tight end class, but there's a lot of bodies that are interesting in the mid rounds.
Yeah. I think Javonte Williams is here, and they know that. That's what I feel like is going to happen. You don't see Steven say too much ever, but for him to be like, out in front, we've already talked to him. Like, that's the Cowboys getting ahead of things, which they don't do very often. Mm-hmm. So they must be comfortable with his agent and all that stuff. So Javonte Williams back, like it's the Najee Harris that makes you go, Jesus, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
I think there's just too many other holes.
Oh my God.
Pie's point. I think 4th round, you're like, is Michael Trigg there in the 4th? Is another safety there? Is like somebody fall down there? One of the undersized corners gets down to that far? Like I'd like to not be sitting there week 13 when Javante's, all dried up and have a single ball carrier that can bring anything, and then having to look over at Jaden Blue and be like,
get in there, buddy.
All right, bud, let's do this. Get out there. Okay. Predict the biggest storyline of the 2026-2027 Dallas Cowboys season.
Biggest storyline of the 2026-2027 Cowboys season. Boy, that's tough. I will say, see, I'm not going to say anything about injuries because that's a terrible thing to think would happen. But wouldn't it kind of be something if Dak did back-to-back, like, really awesome years? Because if he's Romo, then that's not happening, right? Because he kind of is Romo now.
He's pretty Romo.
Which is very odd, but like...
But he doesn't have 4,000 golf swings this year on that back that'll completely destroy it like Romo did.
I think they're very close. Like, and by very, very close to being, like, you're in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I would say the biggest storyline of the 2026-27 Cowboys season is that, see, this is the problem with the Cowboys right now, is they're not that exciting. Oh, they're fun to watch offensively. They're not that exciting. There's not a lot of weird stuff going on. So that their defense is a top 20 defense in football?
Ooh,
I mean, that's not good, though. That's not fun.
Okay.
Let's juice this thing up for the clicks.
No, that's fun. I mean, Christian Parker would be getting head coach looks
if they pulls that
really, really soon.
Brandon Aubrey kicks a 77-yarder. What do we? I mean, I don't know.
I'm listening.
That might be it. It might be the coaching fallout of whatever happens next year.
Yeah.
Because if they miss the playoffs again, does Schottenheimer keep his job?
I think he has. I think we don't start hitting the broil on the oven until after next
I
year,
wouldn't push it, but I just wonder how they would feel and how
Here's
urgent things get. When you get older, you get a little less rational. So I'm wondering.
I don't disagree that that's in the cards somewhere, but I think mine is they go undefeated in the NFC East.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's wild.
Even with the new Giants here?
I'm not worried about new Giants. We always Dak kills the Giants. What are we talking about?
Yeah, that was before, though. This is a new
Commanders
regime,
are
man.
crap fest.
This is what Matt Nagy, I think, controls.
Yeah, that's true. Commanders are going to be a crap fest again, I think. And I think the Eagles' brain drain and just if they don't get off A.J. Brown in the next month, I think he might burn the building down.
Well, you got to do that in June. I think that's when all the cap hit starts dropping is after June.
They look like kind of convincingly to me the NFC East team that's actually ascending on the way up. And the rest of them, I'm like, I don't like any of the shit y'all are doing.
I mean, you could sell me if John Harbaugh built a staff that was better, you could sell me a little more on the Giants. Matt Nagy, trusting your young franchise quarterback to Matt Nagy is a horrible decision. All right, let's do some buzzer beaters. You, for all your big brain Cowboys knowledge, you really are a Packers fan. Some people know this.
Owner.
Yes. Excuse me. So, you're a man who understands the history of your franchise that you own. Prime Rodgers or Prime Favre?
Prime Rodgers.
Okay.
Prime Rodgers, the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Like that. There's a weird year. After they won the Super Bowl, they went 15-1 and then got beat by the Giants team in Lambeau Field. They got beat by the Giants team that went and beat the Patriots.
Justin Tug.
Yeah. So, like, that was a great year. The thing that's interesting about all this, Rodgers did have the Avengers, though. Like Jordy Nelson and Greg Jennings and Donald Driver. They were all good.
Yeah.
And James Jones, people don't talk about Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed and Christian Watson and Matthew Golden that way because those guys aren't that, which is.
Jaden Reed could be that if they played him.
Can't I remember
That's all I'm saying.
Back then?
No, now.
Now Tucker Kraft.
Tucker Kraft is so damn good, dude.
Yeah. Really, I mean, I think it's not a coincidence that their offense went in the toilet when he got hurt. I think they want to run the offense through Kraft.
I'm not saying this as a Packers fan. I just honestly watching the NFL, and I think we all thought this when it was Seahawks and Patriots. We were like, huh?
Yeah, well.
The best team I saw last year was the Packers when they were playing at their best. Now, they had some duds, and they had some weird, just letdown games and things like that. But the team that was playing at their prime, it's the week 1 and week 2 Packers with the offense just firing on all cylinders and Micah just wrecking games.
Yep. Micah injury, tight end Tucker Kraft injury was like, oh my God, that's sneakily like their two best players on each side of the ball.
That was their chance, honestly. And then it's still have room in the next 2 or 3 years looks really good for them. But like that game in Denver where Micah tore his ACL on a non-contact, just freak injury. I mean, they were dominating the Broncos. Up 11 in the middle of the third quarter.
I don't know if the Broncos are that good, but point.
I agree, but like in Denver, it's like it's where it all fell apart.
Yep.
The two Bears, letdown games are interesting. I think Jordan Love is great.
Yep.
And I think I don't know, maybe I just see this. I see Packers fans all talk about it. I got a bunch of Packers buddies around town. Shout out to Jared Sandler.
Yep.
Matt Sizik. And they're not always as high on Jordan Love. And I was like, look who he's throwing to right now. Like Romeo Dobbs is a free agent. We'll go get
I maintain
$8 million.
Jaden Reed is really good, and they just won't play him in 2 receiver sets. That's all.
Yeah, no. And
Got Matthew Golden over there.
Matthew
He's
Golden?
not good. He's not good. But Jaden Reed is good.
Okay. Funniest thing that the Cowboys fan at large thought was a thing,
Okay.
but really never ever was a thing.
There's a lot
You know what I mean?
yeah, no, there's a lot of good examples here.
Yeah.
I think, do you remember the trick shot quarterback, Alex Tanney?
Yeah.
That's one.
yeah.
People that got a lot of training camp articles
I
written.
don't remember that. What year is this?
Like 2013, probably.
Oh, I was in LA then. I wasn't following a camp
Alex
like
Taney,
that.
number 7, did some Dude Perfect
Yeah.
episodes or something.
Oh my God, he was the trick shot quarterback, and it was, again, this is training camp fodder. You know, we always love the articles written about the 7th wide receiver, the guy who doesn't quite make it, but he gets to play a lot in the last preseason game. I loved Alex Tanney. There's also the Jameel Showers thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 2016 was so nuts.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because, you know, obviously Kellen gets hurt. But the blue-gray game, like Jameel Showers was getting backup quarterback snaps over Dak.
Yep.
So, like, the idea that Dak did what he did is still unreal to me because they, in the building, were like, eesh. Because he was terrible at practice.
Yeah, he was not good.
So,
Dude, it's so funny that they've been able to pull quarterbacks like out of like a hat with Romo and Dak, and now everyone's like, any quarterback they bring in, like people yelling for like Joe Milton. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. It's like
No.
the Mavs getting
No.
Dirk and then Luka, and you're like, oh, whatever next guy they get will be
Yeah,
fine.
they
It's
memory hold what happened between Troy and
Yeah.
Tony. And there was a lot of random stuff going on. You're the only person I know who invited me to a Saturday Night Live fantasy league.
yes.
Which means you're the only person I know who can answer this question. Best 5-year run in SNL history.
So this is tough because everyone will say it, you know, it was the group they grew up with, right?
I don't think this, but
Oh, and I don't either. To me, it's 06 to 10. Which,
whoa, I wouldn't have thought that.
weirdly, my college years, but that's the Ann Golden era.
I thought you were going something in the 70s or something early 90s.
No, honestly, I tried to rewatch a bunch of old like 70s SNL, and
not
man,
even funny.
a lot of it does not hold up at
Belushi's
all.
Belushi's got good stuff.
He's out there, yeah. But then when you get Farley, you know, like I grew up with Farley. What's
Well,
Belushi?
yeah. I mean,
I realize Farley doesn't happen without
I guess
Belushi,
like
but
I'm when I think of what we grew up with, at least when I started really into the show, it was more turn of the century.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, the 90s are before then, and the 90s are when I'm sitting there, like the early 90s is when I'm like, oh, God,
Sure.
this is what is firing all cylinders.
And our first experience growing up and thinking things is funny is Adam Sandler doing Opera Man and Chris Farley and, you know, and Chris Rock.
Chris
that,
Rock, yeah.
that whole the late days of Phil Hartman and Dana Carvey and all that stuff. And then, I mean, the Will Ferrell, it really turned into
Will
the
Ferrell
Tina
for me.
Fey era, like 97 to 02.
So why 06 to 10?
Because I think because I've watched back some of this like in the last couple of years, and I've realized how incredible it was. And these are times like I didn't always like watch it like I was in college those years.
Yeah.
You know, so you're out doing stuff. You're on the chase, you know, out on the prowl, man, looking for trouble. What to see like some of the stuff they were doing, and this is widely seen as the digital shorts era now, but it's more than that. Armisen, Wig, Hader, Sudeikis, Sandberg, and the Lonely Island Gang. And there's more that I'm leaving out. I mean, Amy Poehler's attached to that. A lot of the stuff they did there is like so funny now still. And that's where I kind of stand on this being, that's the greatest era to me. And I would not have said that 5 years ago, I think, without like going back and rewatching some of that stuff. Because like I think I probably would have leaned to my early days of Sandler and all that stuff.
Okay.
Whenever Will Ferrell was really cooking.
Oh, nothing.
And it was just like he's doing the same stuff, but he's just like so goddamn good at it. And then Norm would be doing Weekend Update, and I was like, I don't know if it gets funnier. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we have a guy who can just carry the show like that.
Yeah.
And that's that era. I mean, they did have guys who could carry shows, but it was a bunch of people carrying it at once. And it was like Will Forte. I left out Will Forte and Bill Hader. I don't know if I mentioned.
Yeah.
You mentioned Hader.
a part of that. You know,
The depth of that group. You're right. It's like up and down the board. It's pretty.
Yeah.
damn impressive.
It's also hard now because just where media is going. The SNL is even that group. It could lead to you now get a movie, and you now get a TV show, and it's not doing that now.
Yeah.
No.
And I think the show's really good now. I think season 50 was really good. I think season 51 has been very good this year. They've after letting 4 or 5 people go, and they've had a couple like breakout stars I think is really good. Like Ashley Padilla can carry the show now, which is not something I thought would happen when Heidi Gardner and Ego Nodum left. But again, there are these household names anymore? No, because we all take content in and we watch the Snack Homies, and those guys are at Super Bowl Radio Row. These 8-year-old kids who do a podcast about Oreos.
Yeah.
Like, what is the world now?
No one's watching the same thing at the same time.
No, it sucks.
Yep.
We got to live that last, last part of that. Hey, we all watched the Breaking Bad finale. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. All right. When I say number 88, who do you think of as a Cowboy?
Drew Pearson, dude. Come on.
Hut.
No, it's Dez for me.
Okay. Dez. Ooh, okay.
All right. Best polyphonic spree show you have ever seen?
2012, Dan Silverleaf with Machine. Yeah. I think Cray Trey and Groobs went with us. Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay.
Good show.
The only other one, I have a couple honorable mentions, but I know one would be the opening of Clyde Warren Park. With it, the opener was Trombone Shorty and keynote speaker Owen Wilson.
Oh.
As I was walking away,
this all makes sense.
I remember walking out, and Owen Wilson walks by. And I go, "Hey, Owen." And he goes,
okay.
"Oh, hi, guys." That's it.
Oh, wow.
I think he appreciated that we didn't go maul him, try to get a selfie.
Nice. Favorite round ball talk bit?
Oh, my God. I got a lot of favorite round ball talk bits. Honestly, the bit that we did where the graphics turn into like the modern day ESPN bet screen,
ESPN bet,
where you can't see anything. Like it starts out, we're just talking a little Mavs, but there's a 27% chance of them having the number top 4 pick. And then the graphic comes in, and by the end of it, he and I are like trying to get to the middle of the screen because the whole screen's just covered with bullshit.
It looked exactly like ESPN Bet. They had like a 3-wide stack on the lower third, and then some bullshit over here with the schedule. And I walked by the break room, and I'm like, "What are we doing?" You're using a third of the TV, and I was like, "I have to do a bit about this."
Yeah. I will say, and I think this got throttled from social media. I do think this should have lived a little more. Machine wrote a song for Kyrie Irving after he tore his ACL.
I enjoyed that bit thoroughly.
And there's nothing like when you're making and Machine had to live it way more than I did, as I was just freelance and of course and slide in there. But when you are doing a show and you think it's good, like you feel good about it, but it's after the Luka trade. And then you just like, look, and I'm not even like big comment reader, but you go click on the YouTube link, let's see how this one's doing. And the comments are just fire Nico.
Yeah.
You're like, God, man, I put a little bit of thought. No one's even watching this. Yeah. They just came here to write fire Nico. Mm-hmm. They didn't even see the music video that we did for Kyrie.
That one was fun.
That was good. That was a good one. I enjoyed that.
Together on a Sunday night, just out of nowhere. I was like, "Hey, y'all want to do a song tomorrow?" Yeah, let's do a song.
And I don't know how they got that made in 5 hours too, because we shot that thing and
the greatness of
got it out. Yeah.
Micah Parsons slowly morphing into football Drewski.
Yeah, because Drewski is Jelly Roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You everywhere you go, he's there.
Yeah.
And I will say no on this answer, though, to answer your question, because Micah is like he was there at the Pro Bowl and all that stuff, at the Mavs game and at Kane. But honestly, got traded to Green Bay, quit doing the podcast. There was never any real clarity on why. Mm-hmm. I don't think the Packers are like, dude, no, you can't do the podcast. I think he was like.
The internet in Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, they don't have any time. Dude, no, you are on your own. No cell towers. That's why there's so many murders up there.
Got to forage for your own food.
Yeah.
Train tables just stuff people hunted to kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
Because you see people at the store. It's not a very big town.
I'll see you at the store.
Yeah. You just bumped into him on aisle 6. That's how it works.
Your bike up to the store. All right. 3 little weirdos on the One Star podcast. Which one of you has the hottest takes?
It's the guy who's off camera, Kent Garrison.
I was going to say, there are 4 weirdos. Kent's been my producer before. Kent.
I love Kent.
The funniest thing was that Kent, Kent produced us on our Mavs pods that Tim and I and Austin Greer did. And Tim never, Tim's not really a big NFL guy, so he never really listened to you guys' show. And he would talk. He said one time, he's just like, Kent, you're welcome to talk. Like, I wish you would. And I was like, yeah, you do it all the time for the football show. And Tim's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you not watched it? He said, no, why? I was like, he talks all the time to them. He doesn't talk to us on air.
Yeah.
He just would be a little church mouse, just producing the show nice and quiet. And with you guys, he's part of the whole thing. I'm like, Kent, step on in here, brother. Let's get this going.
I don't watch the Mavs that much. I'm good.
Yeah.
Kent is the guy most likely to know what is the latest in the world of aliens.
Yeah, he's been tweeting about that.
Yeah, he's definitely a UAP guy.
A lot of movie takes. He's got his own movie show.
Mad About Movies, great movie podcast. And Ken also was in Forever the Sickest Kids. I mean, Kent's the one guy in my life I know who like used to like to hang out with Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez. Like he's lived 3 different lives.
I know. He's the best. I love that dude.
Yes.
This is a high bar. Funniest thing Jerry Jones has ever done.
Oh. I mean, salting that McGriddle was pretty weird. I mean, right? Like, do you really need more salt? Like, do you get that age? I guess your taste bud receptors go away. Is that what it is? Yeah. The glory hole thing's great. Doing it on purpose. I mean, for me, I had I covered the Combine in 2016. For whatever reason, back when I worked at the Fan, they sent us because it got sponsored by the NFL Network. Weirdly, it was strange.
Good for them.
Yeah. And we went, but the rule on Jerry's Combine bus is you can't have 2 people from the same outlet because these are seats. But I was like, hey, he doesn't know who I am, and just because I'm here with the Fan, I was wearing an NFL Network hat. Because they were giving them away at that thing. I was like, what if I just throw on this NFL Network hat? Worst thing to do, they kick me off. Like, whatever.
Oh, no.
So Kavanaugh was in there, and like it was set with PR. And then I kind of just jumped on with Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
And at the time, Cowboys PR was not as, they were a little more loosey-goosey back then.
Yeah.
And on the Combine bus, sit there for an hour and 15 minutes as Jerry just rambles through all these questions. And at the end, Jeff goes, you got any beer? And Jerry goes, gets a cooler, pulls out a 6-pack, and just starts ripping them off the thing.
The net.
Over the can. And no one else wanted to drink. So me and Kavanaugh just sat there, and we extended that sit down with Jerry. As we get off the bus, Steven and Will McClay are walking in. Steven goes, what the hell are y'all doing in here? As if he wondered, like, as if a scene had happened in that bus before. I mean, it had. The old Dean Blandino story is amazing.
Yeah.
You look back at it.
It's very Jeff. Just be like, got any beer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you know how he and I met.
I am vaguely familiar, yes.
Okay, yeah. We were at UNT together, and I just switched my major to radio, TV, film. And, Kevin's a friendly guy.
He is.
He knows how to do a lot of stuff. So he
does.
was in classes, and we made friends. But then I realized, like, he didn't know how to edit anything. I knew how to do that.
Yeah.
He was big into radio. I was trying to get into radio. And he was at KNTU, and also I've realized he interned at the Ticket, and I was like, how? Like, what?
This is like God.
How do we get these? Yeah, he was immediately the coolest kid because he had an internship at the Ticket. So he's, I don't know, you've been listening to the Ticket since you were like 3? I don't know, man.
Back then. I haven't listened in a long time, but
exactly.
back then.
Yeah. But you are uniquely positioned to answer this question. More so than even myself, because I started listening when I was probably like 16.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite era of the Ticket?
It's weird because as long as I listened, I used to have to go to school and all that stuff, so I could like listen all day growing up. And I think it's that era post Grego.
Okay.
Like right when Grego was out and there was mystery surrounding it. And I was listening to a lot of different forms of radio at that point. Mm-hmm. This is like what I wanted to do, and I wanted to know all about the market. So I was listening to whatever was going on at Live 105.3 at the time, because I was very interested in like the All Talk station and things like that as well. But that, like when the Grego stuff happened, it also was a weird time when Russ Martin, something happened with him. I believe the story is it's a bad story. So there's like a lot of things happened to them. Knew about Ben and Skin. Clearly, Ben and Skin had gone over to Live 105.3 to do a talk show, and then they switched to the Fan. So that era from like 07 to like 2012, when I was, there, like, 09 to 13. But I really thought that was great. I mean, I thought that was like top of the game. And I was never, I don't know, there's something about Grego that it wasn't like I was like against, I don't know, it was just like, you could see through the character a little bit at a certain point. So I realized he was funny and great and all that stuff. But I liked having more Danny on the air and Danny and Corby, goofing a little bit more, and then adding groups to the mix. Like that was a prime hardline era. Bad Radio was doing their own thing that was different than what everyone else was doing. And then obviously the Musers are just so stable, So that to me was like, that's the golden era. It's weird. There's my and it matches up with the golden era of SNL for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Need to go back.
Yeah.
I think what you said about Grego makes a lot of sense to me because, I was never like anti-Grego, and I thought he was funny at times, and he had his own, he fit in on that show,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it worked, but whenever you've probably wanted to, and everyone around you knew you were going to do radio since you were like 5 years old.
Yeah.
Like that's Kevin, right? I didn't for a long time and didn't even want to do that. I actually started doing RTVF because I wanted to make documentaries, and then kind of got obsessed with this whole world. But there are people you'd listen to, and you're like, it's not that I don't want to listen to them too much because I don't want to pick up their habits. I don't listen to this person and try and learn how to do the job better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in Grego, I was like, I can't do Grego.
Yeah.
I can't be Piggly Wiggly Man. Like I can't do that. So I just didn't put a lot of weight into that. And even, later on, Reiner, I was like, I'm not going to imitate anything that man does.
Yeah.
I can't do that, and I don't want to learn how to do that because that's not me.
Absolutely.
And you've always been good at like kind of taking different things that people do, putting it into your game. But there are characters that you just completely rule out of.
Absolutely.
Selection.
And I was always like, why is anyone like, no one else should ever try to do a voice bit at the ticket. Like, it's always going to get compared to Bob Barker.
Yeah.
So just don't. Like, Gordon did it. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
Like take out all voice things. But that whole world too was like, you always knew since you were a kid, Danny is making all these songs too. Mm-hmm. So you liked those little things and knew what Danny could add. And then Grego leaving allowed Danny to be on the air. And I just remember like feeling that them go through that new chemistry experiment. I felt like I was riding along with it, even though I wasn't even working there, but that was something that was like very interesting to me.
Yeah. And that was Grube's era.
Yeah.
Just seeing him become a larger part of the show too.
Absolutely. And then you get in there and, some people it's not everyone's nice, I guess, but like some people are more hard to talk to than others. And, Corby and Danny were always just like, I mean, whether it means anything or not, you're in the building and they're like randomly throwing you out and making you a character of the show, and you're not even there all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, okay, Kevin Turner's got AIDS or whatever. They just, it's like, okay, well, I don't know if that's funny, but like they mentioned my name. So they're taking and they're probably just making fun of me. But that's like what was great about that place is how many people could work there. What was not great about that place is you can't pay that many people. That's true. And that's why a lot of people end up leaving.
That's why the two of you guys who should have been the next generation are here right now with me.
Yeah, it was time to go,
Machine just wrote Des caught it on here. I don't think it's a question, but, if we want to wind you up, feel free.
Well, by letter of the law, like how the rule was written at the time.
I like where this is going already.
You have to admit that Dean Blandino got it right. Like, it's just what the law is.
You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit. He caught it.
It's weird. I've become really good friends with Dean Blandino over the years, too. So
invite him out sometime.
Really nice guy.
I'll put him in a headlock.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want to be around Cowboy fans.
What do I?
Yeah. What do I? It's weird, yeah.
Last one. I feel like I'll ask the last question. That wasn't really a question. Fill in the blank. The Cowboys draft these two players with their first-round picks.
Dude, this is where I can't believe we're here. I think they're going to go Francis Mayoga, offensive tackle.
I hate you.
And let's do Avion Terrell, cornerback from Clemson.
I hate you.
I don't think
Francis Mayoga is actually going to be there. To say
okay, Spencer Fano then.
Okay, there you go.
We got you there.
No,
does Keldrick Falk doesn't do anything for anybody, right?
No. I like my football players actually making plays.
Yeah, that would be nice. It was weird. They didn't really like to let him rush the passer much, though. Very strange.
But he's like 6'7".
Yeah. And he's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone's gonna fall in that grenade.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We could probably do like 4 more hours with you, but we got to get on with our president today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I appreciate you. That was fantastic,
yes.
man.
Do you guys know that like the first 7 presidents, like 5 of the first 7 presidents weren't even from America?
Didn't know that.
Sounds right. I think there's a certain political party that's well aware of that.
Oh.
Yeah. they know that.
That's a fun one. That was a fun fact. And look it up. Millard Fillmore looks like Alec Baldwin.
It does.
Okay.
I saw your tweet.
13th president. Looks just like him.
Okay. He's Kevin Turner. Listen to the One Star podcast, One Star Cowboys podcast, and also the Ben and Skin Show. on whatever they're on. What are they on?
Right, 97.1 The Eagle.
Okay, there you go.
3 to 6 p.m.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check it out. I listen to other podcasts. I don't use the FM
Yeah, we put the
anymore.
full show up. So
Yeah.
just go find it.
Yeah. We're back. Strong side 15. Put a bow on this thing. That was awesome. I love KT.
Best.
He's got some
Our
great
dude.
takes. And he's a pro's pro.
Is?
Number one.
Yeah.
One of the best. We didn't use him for his game show host capabilities, but I've said this for
But he can
almost
do
a
that.
decade. Best game show host in Dallas-Fort Worth.
I believe it.
Hands down. Anyway, my guy. Love to see him in here. Been doing media with him for literally 2 decades. Well, it's the second week of February. Which naturally means everyone's out there bitching about NBA All-Star Week, Mike.
You know what's got 2 thumbs is about to do that? This guy!
Yes, and the NBA goes, I see all your ideas. No, we're smarter than you. Let's really mess this thing up and throw some terrible ideas at you. So tell me how you're going to fix the NBA All-Star game, please.
I'm going to fix it because somebody fixed it for me, dude. I don't even have to fix this myself. I just have to take somebody else's idea, point out, and be like, do that. Because amid the latest dumb Adam Silver comment, I don't know if you heard, but we're going to do individualized broadcasts because we're not fans of sports bringing people together. So, like, that's the point of the whole deal. Look, the All-Star game itself, actually not that bad this year, right? Mm-hmm. Saturday night sucked just because it mostly sucks. The Dame Lillard nostalgia moment was great. Everything else, kind of lame. But, you know, I'm tired of, like, it is damning with faint praise to say the NBA All-Star game was compelling or interesting. It wasn't good. It wasn't something I'm going to remember in 3 days. I am tired of your gimmick formats. I am tired of your gimmicked endings to make people try. I am tired of your arguments about, did this person give effort or did this person not give effort? I don't want any of it. I want out. I want an easy solution. I want one thing that I know that whoever shows up will do their job. And for that, we're going to steal something from the great people of Unrivaled. Now, Unrivaled, for those who are not familiar, is it's been around for 3 years, I believe, at this point. Or maybe this is the second full season, but it launched 3 years ago. It's a women's 3x3 league. The WNBA, as a lot of you guys might know, those players don't make so much money most of the time to take the rest of the year off, or at least so they deem that to be. So a lot of them are playing something else before the WNBA season. This has become the big thing. People play 3-on-3 ball. Well, now they're doing a thing where you play 1-on-1 every February. You sign up, $200,000 on the line at the end. We'd have to tweak the number by a lot in the NBA, right? I'm thinking to get people to do this, you probably have to do about $5 million. That's the number where I think people aren't walking away. A lot of money, but, you know, maybe curb some of the money you're spending on influencers that people don't care about to promote your All-Star game. Put it into the pot. You guys are smart. You'll figure it out. You're not smart. You won't figure it out. But I'm going to help you. You pick people for the All-Star game. You tell them, and this is a very simple format, right? The way that they did it for Unrivaled is it's first to 11 or if 10 minutes elapse. I think that's how they did it. You could tweak it, right? Maybe it's best of 3. I don't know. Figure out a way to do this. But you get the best players of the NBA. You put serious money on the line. Again, $5 million. Nobody's walking away from $5 million. I don't care how maxed out these dudes are on their contracts. $5 million, people are playing. And you know what's going to happen then? Money plus the fear of getting embarrassed, you are going to try. Because what happened in this Unrivaled tournament, it was really freaking cool, man. You had Paige Beckers playing Arika Ngumbawale, like the 2 best players in the Dallas Wings, just going at it, seeing what would happen. That's awesome. Paige Beckers loses, I think, in the quarters of the semis. She's pissed.
She was genuinely mad.
She was furious.
Yeah.
But, okay, what do we say every year around this time? Are people trying? I know they're going to try. I know that they're going to care. I know that I'm going to watch. If you're telling me that I'm getting a random draw and it's Ant versus Luka, first to 11, yes, absolutely. I will watch this all weekend long. So that's my solution. You know, thank the good people at Unrivaled. Maybe pay them a little fee to license their little concept so they don't sue you for stealing. Put a huge amount of money on the line and make these dudes go at it because everybody will watch this, myself included. We will devote a whole segment of the show, guaranteed. That's our part. We're doing our part here on our little corner of YouTube. If you do this, I will talk about it, I will watch it, and I will not be the only one. I just solved it for you. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate you.
I've already got the marketing done. Because there's a game that we do play that is this.
Yeah.
That is frightening as hell if you're a 40-year-old dude and you're at the Y and all the kids start playing this. King of the court.
Okay.
King of the court, dude.
Yeah.
It's literally number one vote getter.
Yep.
Let's say he starts with the ball.
Yep.
And then number 2, right? And you just either go down votes or you just hit randomize on the order.
Yeah.
And it is, you keep rolling.
Yeah.
You keep rolling. Last man standing, right?
There you go. Gauntlet style. I like that.
It's king of the court. And
Yeah.
that game is so hard and it's so fun.
Yeah.
And to get a stop is so difficult.
I'll watch that.
Yeah, king of the court is so much fun, dude. And that's an easy name. Not a doubt anybody has it trademarked. It can be your thing.
Yeah, well, and this is the other thing too, right? The dirty secret about how the NBA operates is these dudes. Kevin Durant actually said this, and the other day, his advice to young players was, you need to play 5-on-5 hoops.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit there with your skills coach.
Yep.
Go out and play and just hoop all the time, because these guys don't. I did a story on the best skills trainer in the NBA a couple of years ago. I've talked to several others. I know how this game works. Young kids now don't want to play 5-on-5. They want to work on their skills alone in a gym. And it's a microcosm of society at large. Mm-hmm. They are not going out there and competing all the time. So if you create an environment where they compete one-on-one, it's going to be real interesting. I'm going to learn a lot more about all of them. And I'm also going to learn, hey, if you want to just do your one-on-one game and not play 5-on-5 ball, great. Then this is the competition for you.
Yeah.
You know, you want to sit there and make it all about you, because basketball is really these days becoming more of an individual sport masquerading as a team sport. Mm-hmm. Well, this is the showcase for that.
Yeah. And it's funny whenever you do start cranking up king of the court. It's not the guys you thought would win.
Right.
It's the guys that would win an Oklahoma drill. You know what I mean? Like dudes that are just willing to all right, I'm tired, but I'm going to defend this guy for the 3rd time in a row and get out of my stance and get a stop. And it's a different kind of game, and it is hardcore.
You will learn, if the problem of the All-Star game now is a lack of effort, this will be the opposite, and you will learn who really cares.
Yeah.
Like, I think Ant Edwards, kind of a psycho.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be into this.
Yeah.
Right?
If Luka was lined up against the right person, Luka would care.
And this is a thing. Not even about the money.
No.
Luka would be in this for the pettiness and the pride. Luka would care.
Yeah.
Luka would lock it.
He would care. Yeah.
Maybe get beat off the dribble by somebody quicker, but it wouldn't be for lack of effort.
If he's the top vote getter, though, he starts with the ball. Is he going to knock everybody out?
I don't know.
Is he going to score on every single person? Like, it'd be so fun to do king of the court, dude.
I also like
it's not TV friendly, obviously, because it could take 2 hours or it could take 1 hour.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe there's like heats, right? You divide people into like 8 and then you play one-on-one the end. I don't know. There's all kinds of ways to do this, but the key is a lot of money on the line, a lot of dignity on the line.
Yeah.
That's the formula. Yeah. There is no money on the line and there's no dignity on the line now, so nobody cares.
Yeah.
But money and dignity, that'll get people talking.
The NBA All-Star game used to be for 13-year-old kids.
Yes.
Now it's for nobody.
Yeah, no. Growing up, I remember all-star moments.
Yeah.
Like, I remember certain things. And it used to I remember Kobe's big thing. I remember Iverson winning. I remember Jordan throwing the ball off the backboard himself on a free throw.
Yeah.
And being real cool because it wasn't just somebody let him do it. It's because he hustled to do it. Like, this game did matter not that long ago.
Yeah.
But it isn't going to matter now. And all of their tweaks, it is all just window dressing on the formula. You have to break the formula and rebuild it to something else. And Unrivaled gave you the answer. Jaylen Brown talked about it the other day that he was into the idea, right? Again, it's put up or shut up if you show up, which is why the money has to be there.
Yeah.
But if you give them the incentive and you just do it to where you get people into it, they'll go.
Changing the scoring enough to tell you like there is an issue and that we need to play towards a fake quarter, but not getting too weird where you can't sell commercials to it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the worst thing to me. No one's happy. Like, you can't sell the spots you want to sell for it, and you're playing this weird thing that isn't the thing you're playing every other night, or you don't play at practice. You're playing this imaginary score, and I don't know. The Kawhi moment was cool last night because he went off, and the rest of it, I'm like, dude, this is for nobody anymore. This is just not the dunk contest and the 3-point shootout was done by like 7 p.m. I'm used to like 9 p.m. Go watch the dunk contest.
To be fair, I think that's because of the Olympics. I think that's a one-off. But the dunk contest sucks because nobody you care about is in it.
Yep. Just throw money.
Like
when these dudes will answer to money. That's why the NBA Cup games are actually good because they're playing for a lot of effing money.
Right. So now quintuple that money.
Yeah. It's a big bank.
It's a big bank, but you will get big spectacle, and people will care about this.
Yeah.
People the NBA Cup games are pretty good, in part also because the regular season games, they affect playoffs standings.
Yeah.
But a lot of people aren't uniquely fired up for the NBA Cup final?
No.
I couldn't tell you when it was, right? A lot of people just don't really care. I guarantee you, everybody, if you tell them the best basketball players are playing one-on-one for $5 million, people are watching. People, and again, what
if you don't want to compete? Thanks.
That says
bye.
a lot.
I'll go down the list. I'll go down to the next one, the next vote getter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If whoever the fourth, if Jokic doesn't want to compete, cool, man. Sabonis is in here now. He's an all-star.
Well, and I think you have to find a way to curb it to where people don't all opt out en masse.
Yeah.
You've got to figure out some stuff. But look.
Well, $5 million is different to different people.
That's you know what I mean? It is. But you want to, I think the concept really works best when you have the best dudes going at it, right? It matters. Paige Beckers doesn't do Unrivaled. Are people as into it? Probably not.
Yeah.
You can figure that out. Last thing I'll say on it, this sounds insane. This particular thing ain't going to happen. But hockey showed you a year ago how you can change your All-Star game and make people care. And a lot less people care about the NHL All-Star game than the NBA All-Star game. I promise you that. It is possible. You just have to think outside the box. And now, as we talked about last week, are these the right people to think about it? Probably not. But it can be done. And I hope they do.
Yep. I'd like to see a fun All-Star weekend. I haven't seen one in forever.
Yeah.
All right, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please continue to check out our work at dmagazine.com, the StrongSide newsletter, and just go ahead and hit like and subscribe and follow us on all the platforms, man. We're not delivering trash ever. We put some time into this and we try and we
don't let bad things come out of the Haymaker Studios in beautiful Frisco, Texas.
We don't. We put the work in, so I hope you all appreciate it. And thanks for watching with us. Thanks for joining the show, and have a great week.